Welcome to Nine's Wide World of Sports. The big game tonight, of course, the final game in round 4 of league football here in South Australia. A very important game for both sides. West Adelaide taking on the Warriors. And there you see umpire Steve Semler holds the ball aloft for the opening quarter. This big game tonight, watching it live on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Your commentator, Ian Day.
Good evening, everybody. Thanks, KG. It's Newton who starts in ruck for the Warriors. Fuller can't get it out. They go in hard. Grosser gets it out to Winter. West Adelaide go to the half-forward line. Big lead. Gossie's done it well. Plays on quickly up towards full forward. Coming to a metre back there is O'Dwyer. Joined in the back by Detman. Well put. Jack Weir gets it back to Detman in the double play. Drive centre wing. Getting back on the ball. Maybe should have taken the mark is Gribble. Coming out with it now, or having to make a metre is Filkey. Took his 15 as he drives centre field. Thump clear. A great big thump there by the Brenny. They go into attack by Tottenham up towards the half-forward line. Ball into the pocket. Coming to meet it now, Jakovic. He's going to need help from there. But took his... Oh, free kick. Free kick going the way of the Warriors for a high tackle.
And Harper in, put himself in between the body and or the body and the ball, and managed to let's have a look at this. Behind the play was the incident, in fact, and it was for a high tackle.
Little or no breeze. Harper stood it up right, but the ball didn't come back at all, indicating there is no breeze at Football Park. In fact, Ken, you can't get a better night for footy.
No, Daisy, you're right there. It's a beautiful night for football. As you mentioned, no breeze at all. So there can be no excuses tonight. None whatsoever. Paul Patterson has a big job to do tonight on Jakovic. It's a lovely kick by Patterson. Bump back towards centre wing. A chance now for Jack Weir. Trying to work hard for the football. Does it cleverly in the end. Gets the footy. That's good stuff by Jack Weir. And here goes Shorts. Short, should I say, and finds Williams. Tommy Williams towards centre half forward. Good mark on that occasion to West Adelaide through Filkey. That's Grantley Filkey. He's playing on the wing tonight. So is his brother Tony. Goes short to Burgess. He'll use his pace and kick long towards centre half forward. Winton went high, couldn't take the mark, back towards the centre of the ground. Clem working hard, finally comes out to Schwartz, up towards Jakovic. Patterson used the body, Jakovic with his superior pace, gains possession. Well done, Jakovic, has his goal. He has the first major on the board.
Well, the real credit for that lies back in the centre of the ground with Tom Williams. His hand to get the ball up was just absolutely magnificent. The ball came in quickly to Jakovic, exactly how he likes it. He took the player under the ball, and sometimes I feel that he does those sorts of things purposely because he knows one out, his pace is just far superior. Patterson had a bad day at Richmond last week. He hasn't started well tonight either. Jakovic away to a great start.
The Warriors off to a top start, 7 points clear in the early minutes. Jack Weir can't. Thrown out there by Fuller. Back in there in defence is Lund. Gets it back now, they go into attack. Up towards the half-forward line, Williams comes out with a football. Well done, Harper with a handball, missed Fuller. Going through strong was Winter. No, it was Banfield who got it out. Finally, Walker gets it out now to Burgess. Gee, that's a long kick. Going right up towards full forward. Standing his ground brilliantly as Goss. Gee, had the herd coming down on him. Never took his eyes off the football, and that's a fine mark.
Indeed it is. Eyes on the ball, and Detman lost the ball in the air, really just ended up throwing his arms around to no avail. Goss won't miss from there.
He's only 20 metres out, dead set in front, and West Adelaide answer the challenge. That's a goal apiece. West 1 goal, trail the Warriors 1-1.
It was good defensive play by West Adelaide as Burgess. Good run, beautiful deep kick. He had an ordinary day last week, put the ball in long, Goss underneath it. You can see Detman not even looking at the ball in the end. Had to just go with his instincts, and he was well and truly offline. Goss, traditional socks down, jumper out, never been known to miss from there. Made it easy with a left foot, and a good even start by both.
Woodville 1-1-7, West Adelaide 1 goal. Watching it live on Nine's Wide World of Sports. Up they go. Newton into the pack of players. Young Tony Filkey working hard. In fact, there'll be a free kick. Which way will it go? It'll go the way of Leon Grosser. Kicks up towards half forward. Well, Gosson behind will give away a free kick. It was a crude tackle. And Champion from the half-back flank goes short, looking for Tommy Williams. Grantley Filkey with the crumbs. Gribble. Got to get it back to Grantley. Filkey couldn't do so. Schumann working hard in there. And umpire Semler will call for a bounce. It's at hard forward left for West Adelaide.
5 minutes gone, first quarter. If Woodville win tonight, all they do is maintain their position in the 5. If West Adelaide win, they go up into the 5 in their stead. Grantley Filkey from the half-forward left flank. Third kick for the evening. Leading up towards full forward. Oh, he's getting leads from everywhere. He's going to Grosser. That's well put. There's a big lead coming from their full forward in Goss. But Grosser is at the 55-metre mark. He's a good kick. His best kick could make the distance. As we've mentioned before, no breeze at all. He's going in short into the pocket. He's found Tony Filkey. Well, he dummied that one. It was a good lead. Filkey's come across from the wing on the outer side to make the space in the forward pocket and has a shot for goal.
Filkey's on both wings, really on top at the moment. It's very loose by Woodville.
The angle is evident. Shouldn't be a difficult kick. Ball going to come back, or is it? No, it won't come back. Wrong side of the post. A point only, and the Bloods tie up the ball game.
Grantley Filkey on the grandstand wing, already picking up lots of kicks, and Martin has to tighten up on him.
Chance now for De Brenny as the Warriors go into attack towards half forward, looking for Klug. Winter with him. Klug busted off the ball by Winter, goes in again. Handball is smothered, bumped away by Banfield. Oh, the handball was meant for Klug by Williams, but it didn't find the body. Grosser with a kick towards centre wing. Jack Weir, will he get a free kick? Yes, he will. Umpire Steve Semler. Every time I see him, his hair gets blonder and blonder.
And I've got to say, he's umpiring well.
Had a fantastic season, Daisy. I would say he'd probably be our most consistent umpire thus far. Jack Weir back towards centre half forward. All over the top, a good mark on that occasion has been taken by McKinnon. Transfer play back towards centre wing. Gribble. Oh, West Adelaide with a chance here. Can Gribble break the tackle? He can. Goes short to Winton, and he marks. West Adelaide looking good at the moment, Daisy.
They certainly are using the ball well, Ken, as they go into attack. Off goes Goss on a short lead. That beautifully put. Well destroyed there by the full-back and O'Dwyer, and the free kick will go the way of De Brenny at centre half-back for the Warriors. Gets a lead from Champion. Gribble is in attendance, comes over the top and thumps the ball out of play between wing and half-forward on the left side. 1-1 both teams. Very important game. The Warriors coming off a narrow win against the Dogs, and the Bloods coming off a loss they'd rather forget against Norwood. Hoy, Bradley type, around the corner, picked up Milsom, hooks in towards full forward. Goss again using his body, but O'Dwyer answers the challenge and thumps it out of play on the left full forward pocket for the Bloods.
Number 1 for West Adelaide, Bradley Hoy, played a lot of football in the twos. He's come up, so has young Peter Milsom, and Kevin Morris not afraid to make a few changes for last week's bad performance.
Throw in, tapped over the top, taken by Champion. The kick may go out of play. In fact, it does on the full. And a free kick. Grantley Filkey to take the free kick on the 50-metre line, tucked away in the pocket. A pretty good season so far, Filkey. Lovely kick. It'll lob almost into the square. Up goes the pack of hands, and a point is the result. So the Bloods hit the front here temporarily. They go to 1-2-8. The 9-minute mark of the first quarter, Woodville 1-1-7.
Detman kicks in. Oh, gee, that's close. Finds O'Dwyer, but gee, he's very close to the line. Some element of risk, but they got out of it. O'Dwyer will kick longer. Back up looking for Martin. The big leap will come from Harper over the top. Almost a top grab in front. However, the ball is well taken by West Adelaide's Tonkin. Tonkin from the half-forward left flank. Pushes the ball in towards the half-forward line. Thumped away by O'Dwyer. Champion is there. No pressure put on him as he comes out of defence, but it's not well directed, and Filkey in the game again. He's at centre wing. 5 kicks in the first 9 minutes of the game. Looks like he's going to have a big night unless they tighten up. Or he goes off, lost the handle, in trouble, has the pace to get out, sends the Warriors, West Adelaide into attack out wide. It's well put, half-forward line. Hoy drives in long, and that's beautifully put again. And gee, aren't West Adelaide using that ball brilliantly, and Milsom with an opportunity from about 30 metres out.
Very direct football. Watch Hoy there, very deliberate stuff. The kick was magnificent coming in, and a good position by young Milsom. Found some space, and West Adelaide look pretty good at the moment.
Filkey missed from here. Milsom close, did not. Great goal.
And young Peter Milsom doing a good job coming up into the league side. As I said, Kevin Morris not afraid to make some changes off his half-forward flank. He has Lund to contend with, and that player gave him plenty of room on that occasion. Dropped back into space, and the kick from Hoy was very, very good. It had a lot of depth, and his trajectory was low, because if it had been any slower getting there, it indeed would have been curtains for Milsom.
Back in the middle, umpire David Elliott, like his co-umpire Steve Semler, having a very good season so far. Both in tip-top form. It's a perfect bounce. Newton under it. Murray came in. Players working hard. Banfield got the kick away, but it's marked by Champion. Goes the way of Lund. Here's a chance now for the Warriors. Finds Debrani. Good tackle by Hoy. That's good football. West Adelaide now with a chance. Harbison over to Goss. Goss back to Tony Filkey. It's a shocking kick, but it may come up for West Adelaide. Winton working hard. Back to Grosser. But the kick is astray and finds Fuller. Now here's a chance for the Warriors. Lund. Flanked by Champion. The Swars. From centre wing. Jakovic. Patterson, the spoiler. Good stuff by Patterson. Little Lachlan Ross, 16 years of age. Watch him go. Straightens up towards half forward. 2-on-1. Here's a chance. A great mark. Been taken by Milsom, who kicked West Adelaide's last goal. It was a poor handball though. They lost possession. Champion tries to crash the pack, little support. Clem comes in late. Back towards half forward, 2-on-1. Oh, great mark, Grantley Filkey. He's having a bottle of a night, Daisy.
Oh, he's walking on water at the moment, Ken. Gee, don't West Adelaide need him playing well too? I would think that Russell Ebert would be maybe looking at a switch of wings here, as Filkey puts the ball back towards the centre wing. Going through was Milsom, but couldn't control the football. 2-2 to 1-1, 12 minutes into the first quarter. And the prize for a win tonight is a place in the 5. Maybe only temporary, but certainly a place in the 5 at the end of this round. A throw in at centre wing. Murray, the body's going, gets the thump away. Going through was Lachlan Ross, didn't have the footy, and the youngster's going to get a free kick. He's at centre wing to send the Bloods into attack. Goss gives him a lead into the pocket. That's the way he's going. Goss is going to get a leap at it. O'Dwyer right there with him, thumps the ball away. Back in defence was Newton. Going through strongly, Goss again. Play on is the call. Banfield breaks out on his left leg, drives towards goal. Oh, Kenny should have got that one. A bad miss by West Adelaide, and they nudge their 3rd point.
And Banfield only playing in his 3rd game with the club, down from the Brisbane Bears. He's been good on the ball, ruck roving with Harbison in previous weeks. And tonight in the centre, a real challenge for him. He would have loved to have started with that.
This is a very entertaining game of football as the kickoff comes from Lund. Milsom, who's worked pretty tirelessly on that half-forward flank, has kicked a goal for the Bloods. Good game of football, good use of the football. The son of Peter Milsom, from West Adelaide league player. Clem, handball's away. Taken by Martin, but the kick has been marked by Murray. And West Adelaide have certainly been the better side in the opening moments of this first quarter. Towards full forward, or high went Gribble, couldn't take the mark. Detman, the Champion, who's played superbly at centre half back. That was Jackweir back towards centre wing. Tollum is his target. Oh, did he get a high one? I thought he did. Umpire Steve Semler didn't agree, and the ball is forced out of play.
Umpire Stephen Semler in charge with David Elliott. Let's have a look at it. And, well, I agree with Ken. It was fairly high. The throw in at centre wing, the umpire was obviously blocked there. Gee, another one on Garth Newton. He looked around to see where the umpire was. He copped one in the ear. Getting back on the ball is Lund, but the umpire will ball it up. That wasn't Lund back there. Or was it? Not Tonkin, it was Manuel. Going through, trying to get through was Detman, and the umpire's going to give a free kick to Woodville this time. It's going the way of Detman. game doesn't seem to have a lot of pace in it at the moment as Lund kicks out wide to Brenny. Now he can show some pace. He got cut off at the pass by McKinnon. Down he goes. McKinnon uses his body well. Coming in as Cox. Picked up beautifully, McKinnon. Gee, did that run well. Needs support. Back to Tony Filkey. This way, that away. Into the man it goes. Strong defence by the Warriors. But it's Filkey once again. Gets it to Ross. One to beat. Looks for running support. Back to Filkey again. Drives in long. Up towards full forward. At the back of the pack, a big leap boy, but he can't bring it down. And the ball goes across the line for a point to West Adelaide. They're doing all the attacking, but can't get a big result on the board.
And good work on that occasion on the far side by McKinnon. He came right up from his back pocket to do a contest at centre wing, and it's good commitment, good attack on the ball.
Another chance for West Adelaide through McKinnon, who's played very well in defence. McKinnon centres the football back towards centre half forward. Gribble a charge. Oh, did it beautifully, Gribble. Got it over to Milsom, and Milsom's missed the game. Well, I agree with you, Daisy, and I don't know how you see it, Rocky, but gee whiz, West Adelaide have missed some golden opportunities.
All the play, Ken, it's all in their forward line. Kevin Morris will be disappointed with that, and you can't blame young Milsom. He's probably well and truly up for this game. A little nervous, and he's reacting a bit too quickly.
Free kicks in the early minutes of the game. O'Dwyer comes out wide. Gee, he's given a big chase there to Tommy Williams and just got to the ball before it went OB. 2-5 to 1-1, 16 minutes into the first quarter. A throw in inside the 50-metre mark. Newton, the bodies go in. It gets Winton. Coming out is Champion. Hooks the ball back towards centre wing. Gee, there's some players there. The West Adelaide's crumb it well. Off the left leg goes Filkey, half forward line. Big chance for Winton, looks for a runner. Goss on the long lead, doesn't want him. Gee, he's got nothing to kick to now. Goss has got a double back, so he's going to put in a long one. Goss back there with O'Dwyer. Goss getting position. Big mark, head kicks to goal. Brilliantly done, his second.
Well, that was a disappointing contest by O'Dwyer. He's normally much more attentive than that. Let's watch it in replay. He got caught under the ball. Goss watched it completely. O'Dwyer missed the ball. He finally got close to it. Goss didn't really matter on that occasion. So close to the square, he wouldn't have missed anyway, but O'Dwyer completely out of position.
Back in the centre, West Adelaide going forward again. Oh, Winton run into a brick wall. Stolen by Jackware. To Brenny. Runs past the player, straightens up. Oh, beautifully put into the pocket. That was Jakovic. That was good start by the Warriors. Good vision by De Brenny. And Jakovic, she's quick. Now, he's about 40 metres from goal on a 45-degree angle. Going to the golf course end. Little or no breeze to speak of. It's a high kick, it'll get the distance, but it won't quite get the accuracy. Woodville go to 1-2-8, trailing West Adelaide 3-5-23, almost 18 minutes in.
Good piece of play. De Brenny's kicking was perfect, plenty of pace there, and on both sides now, good skills, good movement of the ball, and Jakovic offline on that occasion, but his conversion rate is normally pretty good. He'll finish with 80 or 90%.
The Bloods custodian, Patterson, puts a long kick out to the outer side. Back there was Newton going through Murray. Quickly in on the scene and doing it well was Jackware, and he finds Tottenham inside the half-forward line. Well, now it's the Warriors' turn to do the attacking. He's only 35 metres out. As we've mentioned repeatedly, a beautiful night, no breeze at all, and he should have no trouble with the distance. It's a nice-looking kick. It's going to be close. That's home. That's his second kick for first goal, and the Warriors go to 2-2 to 3-5.
Let's watch it in replay. Plenty of options there. Jackware, good eyes, chipped it out, then Tottenham into space in the roving tonight, and had no problems. Coming in late on the scene for West Adelaide was Tony Tonkin, his direct opponent, and from about 40-odd metres had no trouble at all sinking his first.
Back in the middle, a perfect bounce. Goes past John Martin. O'Dwyer, a long kick back towards centre half forward, but it's all West Adelaide here. Well, Burgess dropped a mark he should have taken. A free kick. We paid to West Adelaide. It'll go the way of Schumann. No, it won't. It'll go the way of Burgess. In fact, the mark The free kick was played. Burgess. Centre wing, Winton coming out. Strong attack on the ball. Chance for Hoy. Around his body. Harbison. With West Adelaide moving the ball well now. Towards full forward it goes. Goss there. Can't take the mark. Gribble went in hard. Good tackle. The ball being held him, says umpire David, and he'll bounce it centre half forward.
Only about 40 metres out from goal. The Warriors getting more value from their attacks than West Adelaide. Well done, Clem. Hooks it out to the outer side. De Brenny against Tony Filkey. See if he gets the ball. He's got no one to kick it to, I can tell you. He's going to chance his arm. Great tackle by Filkey. In comes Gribble for the Bloods. On the half-forward line. Gets it over now to Grosser. Grosser in turn back to Filkey. Runs him into trouble. Grosser needs to back up. He can't. And Manuel doesn't well. He gets run down, but the tackle's illegal. And the free kick will go to Mark Manuel in the back pocket. Edges the ball out of defence. I suggest to you he's the only player wearing a long sleeve Guernsey tonight, and I don't know why he is. It's got to be pretty... Alex Lund got one on too, has he? Kick by Swars up towards centre field. Murray can't get it out. They go in hard for the footy. Finally, Fuller gets it out. Clem, the running player outside. Here's De Brenny again on the half-forward line. Out comes Jakovic against Patterson, against the tide. Gee, he's got to get past McKinnon. He can't. And quickly it's picked up. Well, Patterson can't find the handle. He tried to pick it up and finally forced the ball out of bounds. It was actually Cox that sent them into attack then on the outer side, not to Brenny.
It's a thin film of dew over the ground tonight, and from time to time we'll see players fumble just with that slippery ball.
Heavy body work on the outer side. Players working hard for possession. Burgess picks it up. Been a good play in the first quarter for the Bloods, but it's 2-on-1 here. Thumped away. Chance for young Tony Filkey. Poor kick straight to Newton. Big fella. Garth Newton will put the Warriors back into attack with De Brenny. He's got away a couple of times with young Tony Filkey. Kicks towards John Martin. It wasn't a good kick, didn't find the body. Well, John Martin went past the football, then went back the second time. Goes towards centre half forward. It's a poor kick. Oh, gee whiz, Schumann dropped the mark he should have taken. Williams working hard. Down he goes, but West Adelaide made clear here through McKinnon. He'll be run down, gets a handball off to Tony Filkey. Centre wing, towards the pocket he goes. Goss, O'Dwyer went up high. Detman, Nilsson. First part of the football, almost had an airy. Goss goes in, goes out. In goes O'Dwyer. Grosser working hard. Jack Weir goes back. Gee whiz, errors being made at the moment. O'Dwyer back to Tottenham. Now they'll get out of it, the Warriors. Back towards half back, but a good mark by young Murray. The handball over the top to Gribble, puts him under the hammer. Back to Murray. Gee, there's sloppy work at the moment. It's almost holding the ball. De Brenny works hard. His handball will be taken by McKinnon. He breaks away. Kicks up towards the half-forward flank. But a fine mark been taken by Newton.
Skills of both teams under a lot of pressure, making a lot of mistakes, but that's the pressure they're bringing on each other physically and mentally.
Alex Lund used his body well. Martin hooks around the corner, back up towards centre wing. Winter uses his body, gets rid of Klug, and the ball goes out of play at centre wing. 3-5 to 2-2, 23 minutes in. Klug hasn't really got into the game at all yet. One handball only at the throw-in. Newton in front. Gets the tap down towards Williams, can't run the gauntlet. Well done, Filkey. Lachlan Ross in there. Now it's Martin runs into trouble. Clem taken off him almost by Schumann. Winter gets it out. Gribble can't find the handle either. And finally the ball comes out to Fuller. Onto the boot quickly, half forward line. Tottenham wants to play on. Oh, brilliantly put. Klug's out, clear now. And he's got the ball at the 55-minute mark. He's looking to pass off to Jakovic, who leads into the pocket, but he's going in longer up towards the half-forward line. Up there, it was Phil Harper. He can't get it out. Patterson can, and coming away now, McKinnon sweeps out a handball wide.
Filkey, Grantley Filkey, on the defensive side of centre. Kicks towards Grosser, but oh, good mark by Detman. Judged it beautifully. Handballs away to Champion, put him under the hammer. In fact, he's been pinged for holding the ball.
Mistakes like that are going to cost possession, and the term at the moment is turnover. It's when you've got possession, you make mistakes like that which just aren't necessary. Uncontested possession you should take full advantage of.
Grosser, well, Gosh pushed the player under the football, which was Des O'Dwyer. That was very plain, and he gets the free kick from centre half back. Back towards centre wing, looking at there for John Martin. Oh, almost a top mark to Grantley Filkey. Tottenham will throw it away to Clem. Clem towards half forward, looking out there for Klug, and the mark's been paid at the second attempt. Plays on quickly, back to Peter Schwartz. Here's an opportunity. Cox runs around the play, got a high tackle, but played on, gets towards goal. Has he picked it? He has. A goal to Cox, well done.
And Winter on Klug, just a little bit too slow to get his fist to the ball. Cox ended up with it. Klug been a little bit quiet tonight, but he's had a couple of touches in the last 1 or 2 minutes, and that's lifted his rating quite considerably. Cox grabbed around the neck, would it be free kick, decided to play to advantage, got to his feet, good balance, and kicked his first.
The Warriors steady, fight back, but still trail by 3 points. They go into attack again, up towards the half-forward line. Using his body well there was Burgess. Coming out Harper, it was Fuller. Newton, Martin, can't get a kick away. Jets tough work out there. Schumann gets it out finally to Harbison. Oh, great smother. Clem lost it, however, and Harbison got a chance to clear. Over to Banfield. He's a runner, this fellow. Extremely fit. Kicks long to the half-forward line. It's 2-on-1 up there. Great mark, Winton. The umpires paid it. The Warrior supporters don't like it, but he's got it. 75 metres out from goal. Goss goes off into the pocket. Now, in the end, he came back centre field. Lund can't. Off the fingers. Quickly in looking for the ball was Filkey. Player stack up, and umpire Semler says, oh, play on. And Newton comes out with a football. It's a loose ball out of side to Brenny against Filkey. Does it well on the left leg back towards centre wing, but it's a vacant paddock there. Manuel makes a metre to get there. Around Milsom. Flicks it out wide. The big fella Newton doing well in the first quarter as he kicks long up towards the half-forward line. In front is Winter, and he did it well almost on the half-back line.
Winter goes back towards centre wing. Tony Burgess. Flanked by Gribble, then Shepherd's well. Kick short to Tony Filkey. His 8th kick. Oh, goes short to Burgess down from half-back. That's good run by the half-back flanker. Terrific kick up towards full forward, but just offline, and a minor score.
And it's good when a loose man is provided like that, and he can run through. The player on Burgess didn't go with him, and that's pretty dangerous stuff.
Lund takes the kick in, looking for champion. Gee, what great ball control. He lost it in the end to his teammate in Schwarz. Kicks high. Klug with him there is Winter. Getting back in defence now is Schumann. Seeks help from Grantley Filkey. Steadies to drive to the half-forward line. Milsom's going to be the leaper. In fact, in the end, he took it rather easily. Williams came down on him pretty hard afterwards. His 4th kick goes in towards the lead of Goss out in front. O'Dwyer there with him. Lund back on top of the ball. Once again coming out, it's Jacquer. Drops the ball short, Fuller. Jacquer butters up for the double play. Fuller doesn't need him. Drives long. Oh, here's loose checking. Half-forward line, Martin going past now, looking for the run is Harper. Also wanting it, Klug. Off goes Jakovic on a lead. Patterson there with him. He's underneath the football. Not a good pass. And it's McKinnon with Harper, who goes to the pocket. And McKinnon is quite happy to see it out of play in his back pocket and the left full forward pocket for Woodville.
Don't forget, right after the footy at 10:35, Robbo's well tonight with all the news worldwide. Robbo's well tonight at 10:35. Throw in. Murray working hard from behind. McKinnon tackled by Tottenham, but the ball is forced out of play. Almost 29 minutes gone in the first quarter. It's Westies by 4 points. 3-6 plays 3-2. Players working hard. Winter. Good chance now for Tottenham. In fact, it's Clem out to Martin, but there's the siren. And at quarter time, it's West Adelaide by 4 points.
And Ken, it was a pretty even contest through most of the quarter. The most surprising thing is what has happened to Romano Negri. He's been on the bench all quarter. He was named in the first ruck. Newton's taken it, and maybe Russell Ebert keeping him as a secret weapon.
At quarter time in the final game of round 4, West Adelaide 3-6, lead Woodville 3-2.
Let the night roll on.
And welcome back to Football Park at quarter time. It's West Adelaide by 4 points, 3-6, plays 3-2. Look at the goal scorers for West Adelaide: Goss 2, and one is to Jakovic, Totham and Cox for the Warriors. And Graham Campbell, just talking about Jakovic, you made a very interesting point during the game that Jakovic is expected to take the mark, then work hard on the ground. No support for Jakovic.
Well, that's my theory, Ken. I mean, it's evident to me that Woodville, or the Woodville forward line, have got so used to Jakovic calling the tune up there. In other words, taking the mark and or roving the falling ball. Nobody comes in to support him. At the moment, he's just doing it by himself. They've just got to have more people at the fall of the ball if Jakovic can't mark it. And that's their problem at the moment. OK, they're back in the game now, but they were really struggling for about 15 minutes of that quarter, mainly because of no support for their star full forward.
And Graham, talking about full forwards, I thought Goss started well for West Adelaide early.
Well, didn't he, Ken? That mark in the goal square was something to watch. He held out a strong player in Des O'Dwyer, took the chest mark and popped it through. I would have gone back and had the shot if I was him. I think he's a bit unwise having a shot from 2 metres out. He could have gone over the line, Ken.
Yeah, actually, I thought West Adelaide started pretty well, then Woodville came back late in that quarter.
No question about that. I think both wings were on top. The two Filky boys having a big night so far, particularly Grantley. And the whole West Adelaide side have got a different verve about their game tonight. Last Saturday, they were listless. They couldn't get first to the ball for love of money. Tonight, they're really in with a real chance of winning the game, obviously, Ken. And so they should be. Each night or each day is a different day. Last week counts for nothing.
And, of course, a very important goal by young Cox. Graham, I thought that was a very good goal.
Yes, it was. He's a pretty, what would you call him, Ken? Unobtrusive half forward. He takes a classic mark from time to time. We saw 2 last week by Cox, one in the square and one over the far side there, going down to the lake end. He's a player of some quality, Cox. He's making me take notice of him.
That's certainly a big plus for the young man.
Yeah.
I thought Newton played pretty well in that first quarter too for the Warriors.
Well, he's a strong man, Ken. And if you notice, I think Westchester tonight are roving Lachlan Ross and Dean Schumann, and ruck roving Leon Grosser and Merv Harbison out of the 2 pockets. They're playing Ducks and Drakes in their forward line, and Brian Winton's done a couple of good things, Ken, at centre half forward.
I thought Tony Burgess at half back has played well for West. He's giving him plenty of rebound.
Well, he's a real superstar, Burgess. On his night, he just carries the ball, kicks it a long way, and gives a lot of, I guess you'd call it inspiration to their backline. In fact, the West half backline, Ken, is more than holding its own.
Yeah, McKinnon.
Peter Winter has done well on John Klug, and certainly Burgess has done more than enough. And McKinnon, out of a back pocket, has also done very well.
Graham, what are conditions like down there? There seems to be a lot of dew around tonight.
Not as dewy as last week, Ken. I think the players are kicking it off at the moment and making it a little drier, and the longer the night goes, contrary to popular belief, it does get drier. No question. No question about that.
Well, Graham, I know it's only early in the game, but if you're a betting man, who would you put your money on?
No, Woodville, Ken. They've got possibly a few more star players, I suppose you'd say. But West Adelaide at the moment putting up a great fight, and it should be a tight game, and credit to both sides that first quarter.
Good on you, Graham. That's Mr. 1 to 10 boundary side as we take you back to our commentator, Ian Day.
Negri still in the bunker. Newton is going to start the second quarter for the Warriors. He rucked the entire first quarter and makes you believe there's got to be something wrong with their skipper, Romano Negri. Coach Russell Ebert just giving the last minute instructions to the boys sitting in the bunker. That would be Negri and Parsons. The siren sounds. The second quarter underway with the Bloods 4 points in front. From the right, it's Newton. From the left, it's Murray. Good bounce. Murray gets the tap away. Up towards the half-forward line. Getting caught in the act there was Klug. And the umpire, Semler, said he can't get rid of it. Hello, a little bit of a tete-a-tete as the boys just starting to get a little frisky as the dew comes onto the ground. I don't think we'll ever get to winter, not with these sort of conditions, but we're certainly in late autumn. At the bounce, Newton hooks the ball back, but it went straight to Banfield. Tumbles a punt kick to the half-forward line. Getting back on it, Manuel, joined by Lung. Gets through too easily. The kick is a shocker. FAD against Gribble. It's going the way of Totham on the half-forward line. A high tackle against Gribble. Totham puts it up for grabs. Jakovic up early. The ball thumped the ground quickly into Brenny. Gets collared by Filkey. McKinnon through. Cox jams it onto his boot up towards full forward. Great mark in defence taken by Winter, and he'll send the Bloods out.
And Ken, Russell Ebert still doesn't want to use Negri. There must be something wrong with him. He's in the bunker, and he's hasn't had a run for a quarter and a bit.
Well, if there's something wrong with him, Rocky, I might be a bad judge, but why is he playing? Even on the bench, if he's not fit, he shouldn't be playing as Burgess. On the half-back flank, back towards centre wing. Looking out there for Newton, he marks strongly. Handball's off to Champion. Had a very good first quarter. Kick number 6. Jack Weir. Oh, stolen beautifully by Tony Filkey, who had a superb first quarter. Kicks long. Back towards full forward. Almost a mark to O'Dwyer. Manuel in support. He's lost the football. Here's a golden opportunity for West Adelaide. They had 3 players. Chance for Goss. Where's he gone? Strike me pink for the heavens. Stolen by Filkey. Back to Banfield. Will they get out of it, West Adelaide? They don't get a major, only a minor score, and Daisy, that was a golden opportunity.
Well, they bungled there, Ken. There was 2 on 1, and the one was lying prostrate on the ground, and they still couldn't get a goal, and Goss probably didn't play that as well as he ought to. Could have got a handball across shorter than the one he was looking for. Jack Weir off the half-back line. Towards centre wing, that's beautifully put, top mark Cox. To send the Warriors into attack. Champion butters up for the handball. He's going to get it. He could go back to Cox in the double play. Doesn't need that player. Looking for Klug. Out strong. Good mark. I think the umpire's going to pay it. Yes, he has. He plays on quickly. Jakovic into the pocket. Got too much pace. Can't quite get there. Goes into the pocket. One to beat in. Patterson hooks around the corner. Coming back, but not quickly enough. Great attempt, but just offline for a point.
3 players on Jakovic's right. He could have used short, and he's just blazed away at goal. They all look at him in absolute dismay, but I think he's been given a brief again to go back to just kicking goals, because he went the other way far too much over the last couple of weeks.
Kick off by Patterson. 3-7 plays 3-3. The Bloods in front. And a pack of players. Newton has played pretty well for the Warriors. Kicks towards the pocket and it tickles out of play. Beautiful night for football, and there's Ramona Negri. Well, I can't believe that. I cannot believe that if he's fit enough to be in the 20, why isn't he being played, Rocky?
Only a stab in the dark, but he might have the flu. He might, but I agree with you that he should have been withdrawn if he had the flu. There's no point in playing him and making him worse, particularly if he's not going to use him.
Filkey, 11th kick. John Martin, missed his teammate. Found Jack there. That's more by good luck than good judgment. Manuel on the left leg, drives him in up towards the half-forward line. McKinnon back. Well done by Patterson, but the kick's not all that good. Goes to the line. In fact, he's just kicked it into play. Yes, only centimetres in it. I'm just wondering, Neville, whether they'll use Negri if they have to, if Newton should get tired, and just use him sparingly, if he has indeed got the flu.
There's no doubt they have, and obviously Russell Ebert believes that irregardless of his inability with the flu, he's still worth having in the team if he has to use him in an emergency.
Clem drives in up towards full forward. Patterson takes a good defensive mark, runs it out to Winter. Out wide now is Boy. He's well clear. Can go for a bit of a gallop. Down the outer side, kicks long. Winton holds ground. Good. Not a good mark. Going through strongly. However, Milson puts it up, getting back on it. Goss, open goal. Brilliantly done. He boots his 3rd.
Beautiful piece of play. That is the perfect way to change or transfer play. Took it over the far side. The run from Hoy, long kick onto Winton at half forward. He contested well against Champion, and it was a strong contest. Beautifully picked up by Milson, and it was that is a beautiful kick to a full forward, running backwards in Hudson style, and a good goal.
Back in the middle, well, Graham Campbell tells me Negri's got the flu, Peter Schwartz has got the flu, and Darren Clem's got the flu. So the flu has gone to the Woodville Football Club. Tony Filkey goes without the football, and back in they go. To Bernie there, number 6, and umpire Semler will bounce.
When you think of it, if Negri wasn't there and something happened to Newton, about the only player they could probably ruck would be what, Klug?
Yes, good point, Daisy. Banfield's in strife. Back to Hoy. Also Harper working hard, but umpire Semler once again will call for a bounce. The runner coming at the young Tony Filkey. We had the football a few moments ago. Down goes the bounce. Taken by Schwartz. Kicks towards centre-half forward with Winter, who's played well at centre-half back on Klug. Takes the mark, comes back. Oh, it's all West Adelaide here. Take your pick. Leon Grosser, he'll have to kick it quickly. He does so. Kicks up towards half forward. Winton there. Manuel with a chance to Detman. Back to Tottenham. That kick may go out of bounds on the full. It does, and a free kick to Dribble.
Dribble going board. Tony Filkey. Between he and his brother, they had 20 possessions in the first quarter. 11 to Grantley and 9 to Tony. It's his 10th kick now as it goes up towards the half-forward line. Strong mark. Champion playing extremely well. Passes it off to Jacquia. Swartz. Swartz in the back pocket. Edges the ball back towards centre wing. Thump clear. Going through strongly to Brenny. Can't keep it in play, or can he? Murray, the big fellow, tried to do it. The bottom of the pack there was the new fellow in Tonkin. Grosser through. Play on is the call. Playing to advantage. West into attack through dribble. Oop. Milsom chose to play on. He dropped the football. Bad mistake. Well, the umpire said play on. Jacquia had been paid the free kick. And it's Swartz who kicks long. Half-forward line. Back there is Winter, also going well. Didn't lift his eyes. Swartz has got the football and Lund provides the run.
Away he goes, Lund. A long kick up to centre half forward, but Patterson read that beautifully. A long way from Jackovic. Jackovic is not happy. He made the lead, it was ignored. Back towards Grosser on the defensive side of centre. A long handball over, puts Tony Filkey under the hammer. That's a shocker. A chance now for Swartz. He's tackled by Grosser towards half forward. Illegal push, says the umpire, and Shinman will take the free kick.
And Patterson won the last 3 contests on Jackovic. Now Jackovic only interested in getting the balls that are coming in nicely. But you might be noticing the amount of times that West Adelaide are playing on in silly situations. They've obviously been told to move the ball quickly and at all costs, even if there's a risk.
Winton. Oh, back towards Filkey. That's a shocking handball again. They're messing up opportunity after opportunity, and their luck's of fortune with a free kick to Filkey. He plays on, he's tackled again. Back towards Grosser now. Can he do something with the footy? Goes deep into the pocket, looking out there for Goss. Beautifully put to Goss. He went up too early. Still an opportunity for Milsom. Tackled, loose the football. Banfield up towards full forward. Lachlan Ross up high, but Manuel in the front, and he takes the mark.
He's playing well, Ken, in that back pocket. Mark Manuel finds De Brenny. De Brenny's had a few kicks, playing on Filkey. In fact, all the wingmen have been in the action. But once again, the kicking is poor to teammates. Grantley, Filkey, Murray thought about dribble, but now is going back to kick long. A high kick going in towards full forward. It's not well put. Lachlan Ross! Oh, the little fella got there first and took a nice mark in the right forward pocket, and he's only about 30 metres out.
That is a beautiful example of his pace. He was well and truly out of position there. He fought very hard to get in front. And I've got to tell you, that is a very difficult thing to do, to be moving that fast and taking it in his hands where he did, and a testimony to his hand skills.
16 years of age. Right forward pocket, the angle is evident. Oh, kicked into the man. Cardinal send. Then he's legged. The umpire didn't see it that way. Tony Filkey to the rescue. Tries to get it back to Ross. Arms and legs. Tottenham goes in. Grosser over the top. But the umpire will come in and bounce in the right full forward pocket. Rocky, inexperience?
Yeah, a little bit of inexperience. What he didn't watch was the man on the mark. He got the man on the mark, was put on it, and then he moved back 2 or 3 places, and Lachlan didn't look for that. That's just experience, well called.
Grosser with the football. Out towards McKinnon. He's not quite quick enough. Oh! Cox went through. Over the top by Klug. Gee whiz. Skills aren't too high at the moment. Back towards Harbison. He's tackled by Fuller. West Adelaide with a hurried kick back towards half forward, 2-on-1. Detman went up high. Couldn't complete the mark. Stolen by Tony Filkey. He goes short, looking for Goss. It bounces towards that player. Supported by Tony Filkey. Gee whiz, they're messing about West Adelaide. They'll lose it again. Schwartz is being held onto as he was still able to run. De Brenny with a kick up towards half forward. Clem is there and takes a fine mark. On the attacking side of centre, the lead comes from Jackovic. Fine mark by Schumann coming across that player, and he takes the mark.
Out wide, he's got Banfield. That's the way he will travel. Check side of centre wing. West Adelaide bound into attack now. A long kick to the lead out there of Winton. He's got it, but well out from goal. He'd be 80 metres away. Now watch the lead of Goss. It's in short. O'Dwyer's got him covered, but it's a shocker again. And honestly, you'd think that ball has got 4 corners the way they're kicking it. Detman comes out of defence. Kicks long. Getting underneath it is Tonkin, can't bring it down. Going through, Martin did it brilliantly. Here's a chance, Klug, Jackovic, open goal, could not miss, does not miss, it's their fault.
Well, he gets a lot of goals like that, and it's not a bad strategy, but look, you'll see Patterson in the play at some stage here. Patterson just behind Clem. There he is, number 8. He's lost the ball, and he is done like a dinner because he's 40 yards away from him, and there he is in the square. And for a fullback, it's fine to go out and meet the play, but you've got to get the footy. If you lose it, you're in real trouble, and it proved the case there. Jakovic likes to stay in the square and likes to contest the easier balls.
Back in the middle, umpire David Elliott. West 4-7, Woodville 4-3. Almost 12 minutes into the second quarter. Harbison goes in again towards Hoy. Heavy body work in the square. Players trying to get it out. Umpire letting it go. Hoy at an airy, and finally umpire Semmel. The ball does come out, calls it back. Beautiful night for footy here at headquarters. It's West by 4 points. Murray, the tap. Glenn working hard. Got out towards Fuller. He lost control of the football. Jack Weir back towards centre half forward. Tonkin from West Adelaide. Jakovic comes out, meets the play. Cops one high. Tonkin from Jakovic. Got the handball to Patterson. He kicks to centre wing, and Filkey takes the mark. Kick number 12 towards half forward. Looking for Winton. Bumped away. Stolen by Champion. Got it out to Tollum, which was good work. Kicks back to half forward. Oh, good mark. Great mark on that occasion. Not paid. Well, I thought Burgess had his name written all over that football. Jakovic for the tackle by Murray, but a free kick in the interim for a throw.
He paddled up, tapped it up. It's not a throw. That's the wrong call. And umpires quite often get confused about that. If it was a scoop, fair enough, but it was definitely tapped on.
Burgess drives to the half-forward line. In defence, it's Newton on his lonesome. Swings it out wide. Here's a chance for Williams to clear. He'll go short. Fuller can't quite make it. The back of the pack, it's Murray. Out wide, Banfield. He'll put it up now for Filkey. Watch him fly if he gets to sit on this. Through the half-forward line. Puts it in long. This time it's not well directed. And Jack Weir takes the easy defensive mark. O'Dwyer. Through the back pocket. Eases the pressure short. Not a good kick. Fuller had to work. No, Schwarz had to work really hard for that. Kicks longer now back towards centre wing. The run is for Martin. In there's Clem. Also doing well as Schumann, and he makes sure the ball goes out of play.
And the game itself is quick, and players are working very hard. West Adelaide are obviously placing that strategy of playing on at all costs, making the play, forcing Woodville to come at them, and they're getting away with it. But if their skills were on, they'd be 4 or 5 goals ahead of this West Woodville side.
Schumann working hard. He'll get the free kick. Schumann, Tonkin, Clem, bit of by play, no harm done. Schumann back towards centre wing. Winton, Detman. He's in good strike, got tackled with a football. Newton, Harbison, that's good thinking by Harbison. Kicked off the ground to Grosser, had good vision. Grosser thought about drawing the player, then kicks long towards, goals at home. It is, great goal to Leon Grosser with kick number 9.
Was well played, and there he is going up to a young player in Tony Filkey and telling him quite clearly that I wanted to give it to you, lad, but the player played a him run, maybe 25 metres. But not to worry, that's they get away with that in football these days. In the end, he decided, I'll get pinged for holding the ball if I don't kick it myself. Not a big kicker normally, young Leon, but that was a beautiful kick at goal. Good captain's goal, one they needed.
Good work by the Woodville defender there, not letting Grosser get the handball across. It had produced a goal, but that's academic now. 5-7 to 4-3. Murray, but it's thumped away by Newton again. Going through strongly was Cox. No, it wasn't Cox, it was De Brenny. Murray, Filkey, high to the outer side. It's all Jacker out there if he gets a set. Oh, what a great set on that football. Drives long half-forward line. Berg out by himself. He blazes away at goal. This could be close. This could be... Oh, hit the woodwork. Gee, it was a great try. Jakovic couldn't get back there. I think it was a little high for him in any case. And the Warriors get their 4th point.
Almost 16 minutes into the second quarter. And it's West Adelaide by 9 points. A long kick by Patterson. Almost a top mark to Murray. Off hands. Free kick in the pack. Go the way of little Lachlan Ross. He's 16 years of age. That's going to be a 50 metre, surely. It has to be a 50 metre. No, not paid by umpire Semler. Lachlan Ross back towards centre half forward. Players there, John Martin, Detman. He's a hard worker. Gets heavy stuff. Finally, young Milson comes away with it. Up towards full forward, one-on-one. O'Dwyer with the spoil. Oh, Gribble got held onto, not paid. Goss, the Grantley Filkey, goes back onto his right leg. Oh, goes in towards his brother Tony. He couldn't take the mark. The Warriors coming away now. De Brenny from Swars towards Zajakovic. He couldn't take the mark. Clem towards half forward. A chance for Klug now. Around the body he goes. That's great vision by Klug. He kicks it superbly and Fuller takes the mark. Just inside the 50-metre line.
Jakovic on a half-forward flank, Ken, and Harper to full forward, trying to get that ball through half-forward. Obviously not happy with Klug's game at the moment.
Fuller towards the lake end. Well, it's poor checking by West Adelaide, and Clem falls into the open space there and takes a mark. He's about 35 metres from goal.
Lachlan Ross off for the Bloods and Bennett on.
Clem, kick number 10. He'll get the distance. Concern is the accuracy. I think he's got that as well. It has. It's home. Woodville's fit.
Well, Klug was responsible to getting the ball across the ground. He did it brilliantly, and Fuller, who is such a neat and tidy disposal of the ball, found Clem, who was obviously on the ball at the moment and wasn't picked up. And this game is full of loose play, kicking mistakes, hand errors. You can write a little bit off to the Jew, but not the lot.
It's a three-point ball game. Coming to meet the ball champion, unloaded in a hurry. In there was Filkey. Coming out with a football now is Williams. Drives long to the half-forward line. Coming to meet it, Patterson needs a sit. He gets it well. Defending beautifully to the half-back line finds Banfield. Banfield now on the half-back flank. Centres the ball long. Winton's going to have to work hard. Big leap by Newton, not successful. Detman through. Puts it out wide. That's where Klug wants it. Oh, showing too much pace, however, McKinnon can't quite make it. Klug clear. Short now, half-forward line. He's got a chance. Here's a chance. Harper beats his man on the left leg. Wobbles one in and he's kicked the goal. The Warriors hit the front. 6-4 to 5-7 on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
A little bit of bad luck there for McKinnon. He got to the play better than Klug, and we missed that little bit, but he tripped over, left the ball loose for Klug. Klug's always creative, always looking to do the right thing with the ball. Harper doesn't look that steady on his left foot, but put it down nicely. Good control kick and managed to get a goal. Well, Woodville now starting to get that ball through half forward, and it makes an enormous difference. Plenty of talent in that forward line. Harper, Jakovic, and the Rovers resting in the pocket, and it's paid off.
Winton off for West Adelaide, foot on, goes straight to centre half forward. The Warriors in front by 3 points. Filkey, Martin, Filkey, very good game for West Adelaide, around his body and straight to Banfield. Centre wing out of side. Can the Bloods get an immediate reply? Kick number 12 for Banfield. The long one, looking for Hoy with him, is run over the top. Newton. Played well, the big man. It's his sixth mark. Goes towards centre wing. Only Filkey came out at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Banfield a chance again to put the Bloods into attack. Towards centre half forward, and Harbison marks. West Adelaide players running everywhere. Gross is here by himself, calling for the football. That's ignored. He goes in high towards Goss. He can't take the mark. O'Dwyer can. It wasn't good work by Harbison. O'Dwyer goes across the ground. Tottenham goes short to Fuller. The Warriors working the ball out of defence towards centre wing. McKinnon high was the spoiler. The Brandy with a chance. Bennett, West Adelaide player, and it goes out of play.
21 minutes into the second quarter. The Warriors hit the front by 3 points. A throw in at centre wing. Randall Bennett gone on the centre wing against the Brenny. Had to throw in, the bodies go in. Murray hooks. Harbison, oh, great smother, Totham. Winter missed the bounce, got a shocker. Harper in, could have been tackled high. Big Romy Negri on the ground for the first time, tries to bust his way out, and it's hooked back by Schumann. Back towards centre wing, well taken now. Harbison drives long half forward line, up looking for the new player on in foot, the back of the pack. Jack Weir's getting back, with him is Milsom. Not even a subtle hang on, that is, and the umpire right in position, and Jack Weir gets the free kick and transfers play to Swars. Swars is at centre half back. It's stop-start football, not a lot of flowing movements in it at all. Fuller hung out to dry. It was a shocking pass, but he held ground well, kept his head up and took a nice mark. He kicks long now as he drives up towards the half-forward line. Winter can't, Jakovic can. Caught on the left leg, hooks around the corner. In fact, he doesn't hook around the corner. He kicked it straight out of bounds on the full by some 30 metres, and the penalty free kick will go in defence to Patterson.
Plenty of errors, and they continue all the time, but the pressure is on both sides. They're both working hard, but both of them failing in the skill area pretty badly at the moment.
Back towards centre wing, off hands to Lund. Lund towards half forward. A chance for De Brenny now, met by Schumann with the body, but De Brenny keeps his balance. De Brenny into the pocket. That's well done, De Brenny. And finds Cox. Good stuff by the Warriors on that occasion. Brenny number 6. The Warriors in the last 5 or 6 minutes looking the better side, having more players at the fall of the ball and using the ball better than West Adelaide. Cox, from a very acute angle, you can see on your screen. It's a lovely kick. It's hit the post. It's the second time they've hit the post. Klug was the first player to do it. Cox the second.
Yeah, a little bit of bad luck, but as I said, it's been sprinkled with bad luck and bad football tonight. But you can see by the scoreline, there's not much in it, and plenty of intent on both sides.
You're dead right, there's only 4 points, Neville. Big mark, lunge, he's up in attack at the moment. Off goes Jakovic. A long kick will go into Klug, setting himself in the square. The big fellow's got his name right on it. No pressure put on that player at all. He gave Peter Wheater the slip. I don't even know where Winter is, but he's not within 20 metres of when Klug actually took the mark. You can see Winter now in the background, but certainly Klug read that play well, dropped in, should not miss this, and it should be his first goal. 5th kick, pops it through, and the Warriors have got their 7th.
There's no shortages of big men in the forward line for Woodville. Klug, Newton, and Negri on the ball. Plenty of height on the ground at the moment. In fact, just a smidge top heavy, and but they've got a good leading full forward, and they've got plenty of crummers around the place. And Klug played an average first quarter. He's lifted greatly in the last part of the second quarter. He's been responsible for the revival of Woodville.
It's the Warriors by 10 points. Almost 25 minutes gone in the second term. Foot goes up, taken by Tony Filkey. Up towards full forward, O'Dwyer in front, and he takes the mark. Murray's gone to full forward as he kicks across the face of goals to Jack Weir. Jack Weir to Manuel's played pretty well over the top to Detman. That's good movement out of defence by the Warriors towards centre wing, or puts him under the hammer. Burgess takes a mark, uses explosive pace away to Hoy. Where's Hoy going? Via the Cape, hooks it back towards full forward. O'Dwyer is back there, and he takes the mark.
It was a good call, Ken, but there was no one in the square, and he had to look up. He was going to kick, but had to hang on to the footy.
Goss centre half forward for the Bloods. Negri gets his first kick of the evening. Long towards the half forward line. Klug in front. Winter taps away. Bennett's going to have to work hard against the tide. Lost the football. Grabs a free kick for a high tackle.
Very lucky to get that. Bennett going the wrong way. Should have made way for Schumann or others, or McKinnon to come forward. Going the wrong way. Shouldn't have taken the footy.
Going through is Detman. Or lost the football. Hoy smothered. Fuller flanked. He's going to get the free kick. Or is it Schwarz? No, it's Fuller. Fuller kicks out wide and goes long. Up towards the half-forward line. At the back it was Winter. Burgess can't. Oh, that player hasn't got the football. They said you can play on, or can they? No. It's going to go back to Cox on the half-forward line for a free kick. Steve Cox is 60 metres out. He'll be struggling to make the distance from there. Klug goes off in one direction. That's the way he's going. The big fellow underneath the football. Jakovic at the back of the pack looking for the free kick. Patterson right there with him. Martin comes inboard, this way, that away. Hooks around the corner, back 2 on 1. West Adelaide all can't bring it down, and it's Filkey who concedes the point. Now Graham Campbell says that's wrong, it ought to be 3 points.
Yes, if you're in a lot of trouble, outnumbered completely, and you're tight with a chance of a goal being scored against you, only time you should do it. On that occasion, very lazy football, and but there's certainly no runner on the ground, and I wonder why Kevin Morrison accepted it.
I agree with Graham Campbell. It should be a heavy penalty rather than 1 point. It should be 3. I agree with Graham Campbell. As West Adelaide go towards centre half, over the top mark by Champion. He's played superbly. Goes towards Tottenham. Woodville looking far the better side at the moment. He loses the football, goes in a second time. The handball out, taken by Champion. Dedham, or Depton, shall I say, a long way from the back pocket, up towards full forward. In front, Burgess. Well, he's been a good player for West Adelaide, Burgess. Defence first play towards the grandstand side, taken by McKinnon. He'll give a handball away. No, he won't. He'll break the tackle and run on. And kicks towards Gossett, won't quite carry. Picked it up beautifully in the half volley, but no support at all. 3 on 1, scores to Lund. Away they go again, the Warriors. That's a shocker by Alex Lund. Stolen by Filkey. I don't know who he's aiming for, got no idea. Detman and Milson. Filkey off the ground. Goes in again. And out of play. Of course, don't forget tonight, right after the footy at 10:35, Robbo's World tonight with the World News. Very funny man is Robbo. That's at 10:35 tonight.
And once more, some bad skills. This film certainly won't go into the skills library, but I don't know how much they can blame on the Jew, but certainly not all this. Pretty poor stuff out there at the moment.
Schumann back in defence for the Bloods. Harbison, centre half back. Kicks long towards the half forward line. Coming to meet it up there is Gribble. He's been moved as well. Champion goes out wide. Gee, that's gone off the side of his boot. Detman needs support. Gets it from O'Dwyer. He'll come back. They'll run around in a complete circle. Lund. At least they'll get rid of the football now as Jacquia has time to have a look. Kicks to the half forward line. Kluger's there. 3 on 1. They thump the ball away. Going through. Brilliantly done. Martin on the left leg. Jakovic on a long read. He can't quite get there. Got his hands to it. But Patterson thumps it away. Sweeps out the handball. Filkey will come out wide, and Harbison will run West Adelaide into attack. Half forward line. Grosser well shepherded there by Goss. Grosser would be 65 out. Not a lot of movement in his forward line as he's going to put it up in the air for grabs. Setting himself Murray. Over the top there came Hoy. Going through Milsom around the corner. Thumped away there by Martin, and it goes out of play in the full forward right pocket with West Adelaide in attack. But an attack that at the moment, after starting so well, which has very little method, the siren sounds, and it's the Warriors by 11 points.
And Woodville got away to a better start that quarter, mostly through the services of Klug at centre half forward, and then Harper came out to that half forward, or at least Jakovic came into a half forward flank, Harper to full forward. It worked for the Warriors, and they go in with a handy lead.
So at half-time, Woodville 7 goals, 6:48, lead West Adelaide 5-7-37. You're watching this game live on Nine's Wide World of Sport. Welcome back to Football Park, and at half-time it's the Warriors 7-6, West Adelaide 5-7, a margin there of 11 points.
Very good second quarter by the Warriors. Jakovic has 2, and a bevy of players have 1 goal for Woodville, and for West Adelaide, Goss leads the way with 3.
And Rocky, I thought earlier in that second quarter that West Adelaide had a chance to perhaps establish some sort of lead early.
Well, they did. They've wasted so many opportunities in that first quarter, and of course Woodville have come back at them. They're better established now with Klug getting on top at centre half forward. They might pay dearly for those, but both sides making an enormous amount of errors with the hands. You can blame a little bit on the Jew. It is slippery out there, but there are things you do in the wet, and they're not doing them. Maybe it's just the first time they've had to actually deal with wet weather.
Have you seen the centre line, Jew? I thought the Filkey brothers, particularly early, got on top of cross centre.
Well, Tony and Grantley always, Grant in particular, picks up a lot of kicks, and it doesn't get as much value as I'd like like to see him get with them normally, but I think they're on top across the centre at the moment, and Banville getting a ton of kicks. Number 31, the boy from Brisbane Bears, playing his first game in the centre, normally on the ball, and I think he's leading Fuller to the race at the moment.
Well, of course, this is a very important game so far as the premiership table is concerned, a place in the 5, and of course, as we see there, round 4 with tonight's game well and truly still very much open there. If West Adelaide win, they go into the 5, right. And Woodville, if they win, they stay in the 5.
Yeah, that's right. Well, it's only separating on percentage at the moment, 5% as you can see. But Glenelg,
aren't they strong?
They're on fire at the moment, and they're well organised. Fidge has made so much difference to them. Kenny's kicked 67 goals to this part of the year, 33 in the Foundation Cup and 34 in the first four rounds. And I say he is the difference at the Bay at the moment.
Well, it's good to see sides like Torrens also, Rocky, in the 5 and being competitive.
Well, they are. They proved they can beat a good side. They beat North Adelaide on their home turf last week, and of course had a win against the Double Blues here yesterday, and they're looking pretty sound.
And of course, round 5 they've got a big test when they play Port Adelaide at the Alberton Oval.
Well, it's a big test for them. You're dead right, and they've beaten North Adelaide. That was a test for them at Prospect. They did that well, and it'd be a hard one to tip. But Port Adelaide on current form, I guess you'd have to go for them.
And of course, the game at the Adelaide Oval, interesting. A week ago, most people were writing off the Dogs. They had a big win last week against Norwood. Now they've got South. So.
That's right. Well, as we said to him just off camera, he's looking a little bit better, a bit more relaxed. The knives are out of his back. There is somebody else's. Life's a bit better when you have a win. And beleaguered South, I can't see them getting up, Ken.
And of course, North Adelaide have lost their last 2, so they come up against West Adelaide also on Saturday.
And West Adelaide have got to prove they can beat a top side. They've done very well against lower ranked sides. Nord beat them at Richmond last week. And tonight they're playing a middle order side. They've got to be a good side to be in that 5.
And of course, the other interesting game, of course, of the weekend is the game between Glenelg and Woodville. Glenelg, as we said, playing super football. Woodville with a chance to beat them at home.
Same as West Adelaide. Middle order side, need to be good sides to stay in the 5.
OK, we'll take a short break and come back with more footy on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
In he comes. Vandermaker with the jump. Big goal, Vandermaker! Sensational mark. It's unusual for Warhurst to give him a ride, or to give any fullback a ride. He knew he was caught between the devil and the deep blue sea. He tried to prop, but in the end he just had to go for it, and I think he knew all the time that Vandermaker was sitting there ready to jump.
That's a sensational mark, Graham. He virtually had his knee on Tommy Warhurst's shoulder. Unbelievable stuff.
A man of his size can get up that high. Did you see Macca almost fix up Greg Smith as he went past? But Greg had the presence of mind to just sway a little to the side.
You know, Graham, there's nothing better than to see Rudy Vandermaker when he's firing like that on Saturday. Unbelievable stuff.
Nothing better to see any forward in full flight doing those sort of
Particularly Rudy, because he's a personality.
Yeah, and he just needs to get that confidence in his game, and once he's got it, he's off and away. 8 goals last Saturday, obviously up for a big year now. You were telling me, big chance he might have been out of the side if he hadn't.
Well, I think he was told by Kells on Friday that if he didn't perform, he'd be kicking the dew off the ground next Saturday. Right, that's in the 2s.
That dew gets rather wet.
So they kicked 8 goals too. Well, getting back to tonight's game, Graham, how have you seen it?
Well, it's been an intriguing game, Ken. A lot of mistakes made in delivery of the ball by both sides. They're picking out at the respective backlines half the time. But slowly but surely, the greatest skill of the Woodville players is showing out, I think. And slowly but surely, they're just getting their head in front. I think they'll go away the last half, Ken. Not by a lot, though, because Westies are determined tonight to really put a show up.
I thought they started well, Westies, and I thought Goss up forward early looked a prominent sign for them.
It's fair to say now, though, that O'Dwyer's on top there, Ken.
Yes, by far.
He really has held him out the last 15 minutes of that last quarter, and doing it easy, actually. Marking unopposed, the things that Des O'Dwyer really revels in, and the hand pass over the top and getting the thing running. The Woodville backline is working as a unit now. That their forwards are a little disjointed, Ken. I think Jakovic has been beaten by Paul Patterson.
Well, he was brought out to the half-forward flank at one stage, Graham, wasn't he?
Just for about 5 or 6 minutes, Ken. And Phil Harper went to full forward. There's a goal he got. That was a gift. I like that, Ken. Didn't kick it out of the ground and be stupid about it. And as some blokes do, and they get a rush of blood to the head, they get a gift goal and go boom out into the lake, and that's silly. Because they're on fire. They've got a goal. They want the ball back in the centre and start going again. The Woodville forward line is a little bit in disarray because Jakovic hasn't really done the things he's used to doing.
Well, have you seen the move of Phil Harper to full forward?
Well, it was only for 5 minutes. He went back to the flank then, so it was hardly worthwhile. Phil Harper's goal there was a funny sort of a goal. He obviously hasn't got a great left foot, Ken. I didn't know that till tonight. But he was forced onto his non-preferred foot, which is his left foot, and he just couldn't really...
wasn't balanced, was he?
Well, he wasn't. He was all over the place. So probably a Lady Luck smile on Lady Luck smiled against West Adelaide then, and Woodville got a somewhat fortunate goal.
And I thought Klug came into the game in that second quarter.
Well, he went to a forward pocket actually, strangely enough, and that's how he took that mark. And his hand pass over the top found Jakovic a few moments ago, or 5 minutes prior to that. And Garth Newton went to centre half forward, and big Negri into the ruck for the first time this night, and that left Klug not languishing in the pocket, but in the pocket. And he's been effective. I
thought from West Adelaide's point of view, Gribble was moved to a forward pocket with Banfield going into the middle. How did you see that move?
I honestly believe Banfield started in the centre, Ken.
Really?
Yes, he started in the centre.
Okay,
but Gribble's been ruck roving and playing around the place. I think you'll find that. But nonetheless, it hasn't been as effective as they'd like. They're little or smaller type players forward of centre.
All right, comments here from Graham Campbell. Of course, there's been plenty of publicity in recent days about the West Adelaide Football Club. Neville Roberts now talks to their president, David Shipway.
Thanks, Ken, and with me, as you said, David Shipway. David, 1990, it's a tough time for football clubs, and being the man at the top, often the gun's pointed right at your head.
Well, I think it's pointed at a lot of people's heads right at the moment. There's a lot of clubs obviously looking at what the situation is, and it's probably an interesting time. It's an exciting time because I think there are some changes ahead, but it's a case of keeping your finger on the pulse.
And of course the last couple of weeks have been topsy-turvy for a few sides in the league, and pretty erratic. But there must be a lot of pressure on management and executives, not only for your time but for your resources, and it must take you away from your families and your businesses far more than they would like.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's one of those things. However, having put your hand up for the job, you can't just walk away when it gets a bit hard and when the pressure's really on. And the pressure is really on every football club at the moment, not only on the administrators but the coaches and the players too, because there's obviously there's the air of change in the wind.
Yeah, nicely put too. And you can move that bet of yours down to Richmond Oval, where your wife says that you spend most of your time. But talking about the game tonight, it's good to see so many young kids in the West Adelaide side. You know, young Milsom, Ross in particular, we know a bit about, young Tony Filkey, Hoy, who probably isn't young but reserves is in. That, from my understanding, is a policy that you're pursuing this year.
We've got a lot of young people around the club, but they haven't performed perhaps as well as we would have liked by now to have been playing there. But another chappie by the name of Tony Tonkin, number 43, is making his debut tonight. We've got about 4 or 5 first game players in tonight. This is Hoy's first league game. Damien Murray's first game back this year. So obviously they haven't done as well as perhaps we would have liked. Their forward line's in a bit of trouble at the moment. But I mean, there is an opportunity for the young blokes to get there, and at the moment they perhaps haven't performed as well as they could have early in the year to have got there as early as now.
But tonight, just looking at the game in particular, the attack on the ball, the play on style of play, they're playing it enthusiastic, obviously under instructions from Kevin to move the ball on quickly. Young Ross, his hands in the first quarter, brilliant. You must be looking forward to seeing a lot more of him at West Adelaide.
Yeah, none of us, I don't think, have seen anywhere near as much as what he's going to be capable of. He, like a lot of other young people, has got to settle into the style of the club and the game and so on, but potentially, I mean, he's going to be anything, and a good young person with it.
Yes, and every South Australian was pleased that Mr. Martin saw it the way he did the other week.
Well, I think it's not in his nature to be going out and getting involved in something like that, but he felt that he was provoked to that stage, and it's not something he'd want to be involved in again. It was a fair experience for a young kid, but handled himself well, and I think the Commissioner saw it in the right light.
And very quickly, your recruit from Brisbane Bears doing well in the centre.
Yeah, Peter Banfield, again, has taken a little bit of time to settle down. He's still been flying to and from Brisbane, but he's back in Adelaide to live now, and we're looking for good things from him.
Well, thanks for your time tonight, David, and all the best with West Adelaide, the affairs, and how the rest of the year sits out for you.
I don't know about the affairs, but everything else is going well anyway.
Nicely put, David. Thank you.
Welcome back to Football Park, and there you see it, the Thomas Seymour Hill Cup. The prize money, $220,500, and that's not a bad prize for winning the premiership, Graham. $50,000.
Well, Ken, it's worthwhile, isn't it?
Oh, you're not wrong there.
Even running 50, you get something out of the wreck. and any finals appearance plus is a 9,000.
That's a
each
big
time.
bonus, isn't it?
Well, it's great, Ken. It just makes it a bit more appetising, I guess.
That's for sure.
For each club in this day of high finance.
Well, Graham, looking to the game until half-time, the Filkey boys, I believe, have had something like 40 possessions between them.
Yes, Ian Day just gave us the information that between them, 39 possessions, 15 and 5 Grantley and 15 and 4 Tony Filkey.
Not a bad performance. And
well, you can't do better.
According to Daisy, they moved Tony Filkey too, and Andrew Bennett come onto the ground.
Randall Bennett, yeah. Well, the thing is with Randall Bennett, he only offers a wing for you, Ken. He hasn't got a lot of alternatives with Randall Bennett, so he really isn't the ideal man to have on the bench unless your wings are down, and they weren't down. But Kevin Morris opted to bring Randall Bennett on the ground, and what he did, I would have to do too. You can play him on his preferred position on a wing, and Tony Filkey can rove, and he can play out of a pocket pretty well.
What about the use of Negri? Now, obviously, there is something wrong with the man. You've got the mail that the 3 Woodville players with the flu.
The information was that Romano Negri definitely had the flu, and 2 other Woodville players, and squeezing the fella for information, he virtually said Darren Clem, I think.
Well, just getting back to Negri, if that is the case, would you use him as Ebert has used him tonight or not?
I suppose I have to, Ken, because Garth Newton is the only other genuine big man in the club. Now, if Romano felt, you can play with the flu, I mean, but the degrees of the flu, I don't mean the Asian flu or something, but just the degree of the flu, you can get out there and sweat it out. That's my theory. You sweat it out by playing football, and it might help, you know. OK, well, let's go back to our commentator, Ian Day. We look forward now to a very exciting third quarter. Here's Ian Day.
West Adelaide have started the second half, or will start the second half, with Lachlan Ross and Harbison in the bunker. Means their 2 interchange players are on the field, so obviously there's some changes which we'll get Rocky to have a look at for you. But Murray is still on the ball, and so is Negri, so the big fellow starting the second half. Everything in readiness. The Warriors 7-6, West Adelaide 5-7. It's an 11-point ball game. At the start, umpire Semler gets the game underway. Murray from the right and Negri from the left. At the bounce, a good one by the umpire. Negri gets in high, neither got their hands to the ball. Swars knocked it. A couple of areas in there. Murray can't, Fuller can't. High tackle maybe. Which way will it go? Banfield, no. The umpire's going to ball it up again. Umpire David Elliott in screen, with him Stephen Semler, and both umpires doing a fine job. At the bounce again, Negri against Murray, or Negri thumping as far as most people can kick it. Great handball, Klug over here to Harper. Harper's on his right foot now, wobbles one in towards goal. Gee, he doesn't get away a nice looking kick either foot. And this time he's booted another point. The previous one, at least he got full points for a goal, but that is the Warriors' 7th point, 7-7 to 5-7.
Not a lot of nice looking kicks on the night, but Harper's very dangerous half forward. Went to full forward in that second quarter with Klug, with Jakovic coming out. It really helped them, and now we're back at half forward performing well.
Gee, I thought Damien Murray was a bit unfortunate then not to have that mark paid. In the interim, a free kick has gone to Clem. Clem, the lead comes from Jakovic. Beautifully done, Jakovic. Good kick by Clem. And it was a very, very good lead by Jakovic. Kicked 2 goals, 2 to this stage. 45-degree angle from the outer side. Kick number 6. Kicks on its way. Make it 3 goals, 2.
Jakovic showed very clearly there why he's such a good full forward. His timing and his read of where to go is perfect. And on that done, he needed a yard, as you saw there. Patterson right with him. And he's a very accurate shot at goal. He possesses a lot of pace. And I put him alongside of Fidge as 2 very important players for their sides. Might be stating the obvious, but he's a dangerous forward.
Woodville by 18 points, the biggest lead by either side for the evening. Bounces a shocker. Gribble, in actual fact, thumps it away, but it went straight to Swars. Half forward line, Klug coming across. With him there is Burgess. Umpire said play on. Oh, Fuller, great handball. Off goes Harper again. What can he do with this one? I think it's an action replay of the first. Went off the side of his boot. He seems to be fairly adept at doing that. And he's now kicked 1 goal, 3. Well, the Warriors still in attack.
I did, whilst I was on the boundary, touch the ground and do a comfort report, but it isn't that slippery out there, and some of the players just not handling that ball well. Harper on that occasion rushed his kick, couldn't get it into position, and another point.
Good mark by Winton back on the ground in this third quarter. Left the ground, was taken from the ground in the second term. He's long kick. Champion almost a mark. Goss taps it on. Chance for young Filkey. Goes back to Grosser. West Adelaide into attack towards centre half forward. Hello, Winters up at full forward over the top. Goes a foot from Gribble. Can he stand up? No, he can't. He gets the football out. In goes young Milsom, hooks it around his body, gives it his best shot, but offline and only a minor score. So Woodville 8-8-56, West Adelaide 5-8-38.
And young Milsom, part of the youth policy at West Adelaide, picking up a lot of kicks and doing a good job.
Kick come towards Barton. He didn't make a great deal of attempt, and the umpires said that so. I didn't feel as though that he made a great attempt to keep the ball in play, and that's the way umpire in it is ruled. Filkey kicks in high, up towards full forward. They set themselves. Goss can't quite. Jack, we're back in defence. I wonder whether umpire holding the ball against Champion, and he's not really happy. The free kick going the way of Winter. Well, he's playing in the forward division now. Obviously playing full forward. Winton has gone to centre-half back where he started the game. Obviously Winter will improve his angle. Gee, it's not a bad looking kicker. Going across the face of goal, over the fingers of Foot, hits the behind post to throw in right full forward pocket.
Yeah, some of those changes to lift West Adelaide, but Peter Winter, I've seen him play at full forward before, and he's quite capable there as well.
Woodville coming out of defence. Chance for Grantley. Filkey went without the football. Fuller takes it. Clever stuff to Brenny. Oh, lost it. Stolen by Grantley. Filkey back towards full forward. Negri goes up high. But once again, it's off hands and 1 point.
Brenny just giving up the play on that occasion, losing the football for Woodville, and that really hurts you when you're running forward. You've got West Adelaide on their wrong foot. They're chasing jumpers, and you give the ball back to them with all your players going forward.
Clem's kick is not good. Landed in play, however, before Goss could get there. Goss is out from goal. Obviously, he's at centre half forward. A throw in on West Adelaide's half forward right flank. They're going to have to start to do more, the Bloods, if they want to win this game. Woodville are slowly edging away and looking the better team. Swars under pressure. Back here towards Filkey, picking up his 15th kick. It wasn't a kick. He never ever got it started. Finally, the handball comes across from Tottenham. Comes now to Harper. Drives long to the half forward line. Chance for West Adelaide in defence. Schumann going through to the line, and the ball goes out of play on the half forward right flank for the Warriors. 8-8 to 5-9. West led by 4 points at quarter time, but Woodville snuck in front just before half time to lead by 11 points. They've now got a 17-point margin. Bodies go in. Newton at the back, Murray in front. Coming out with the football is Harper. He's doing well, picking up a few kicks. Dribble. Oh, Jakovic, here's a chance, shot at the goal! Oh, what a mistake!
Well, that's a lesson about diving on football. Gribble desperate to dive on top of it. Let's watch it in replay. There's his balance. Two players there. They should have worked it out between them. One Shepherd. And he dives on top of the ball, trips over Patterson, and leaves the ball open for Jakovic. You couldn't believe he's lucky. He was outnumbered 2-1. And they didn't play that too well. As you can see, he's very delighted. Didn't give himself a hope of kicking a goal there.
Back in the centre. It's the Warriors by 23 points at the 6.5-minute mark of the third term. Negri. Banfield thumps it on, taken by Champion. He's been a good player tonight for the Warriors. Good out of that well. Kick number 10. Towards centre half forward, through the legs, goes the way of Patterson. Oh, he's in strife. Runs into a brick wall. I've lost it again. Harper in an open goal and says, thank you very much. That's his second goal.
Well, Patterson wasn't responsible for the last mistake. That was Gribble who just dived on the ball, and that's not always the best option. You take yourself completely out of the game. This time, let's watch him. He tried to do what Champion did in the centre of the ground and get through a wall of players. Not that smart. Ran himself into trouble. Finally gave the football up. Instead of going to ground, better getting caught holding the ball 30 yards out than giving the ball up like that. A good turnaround for, and knocked forward there by Cox, of course. But easy goal for Harper, looking good.
Harbison back on the turf. It looks like Schumann's going to the bunker. He's noticeably limping. Negri gets the flip away again. Fuller can't get it away. It's thrown out to Schwarz by Clem. In turn, he's going to get a free kick for hanging on. The Warriors starting to make a surge now. This could be a match-winning burst. They're 5 goals in front as Fuller drives in long. Up looking for Jakovic, stumped away. All West Adelaide flying. Here's for the crumbs will be Jakovic. This way, that away. Heaves it back in board, but it's not a good handball, and Filkey has time to have a look. That's Tony Filkey. 3-on-1 back there. The Warriors have got to get this one. It goes to Jacquia. on the left leg, looking to set it up, goes out wide. On the lead now is Jakovic or Harper. And gee, no one was more surprised than that player to wind up with a football. Well, he beat 2 West Adelaide defenders and he's got the ball 40 metres out from goal. Harper towards the southern end. 8th kick. It's a better looking kick and he has popped it through for his 3rd goal.
Making a big difference at half forward, Phil Harper. Let's watch it in replay again, but a real opportunist between 2 West Adelaide players. Have a look at this. Players just not desperate enough. West Adelaide doing a lot of work in defence, but not a lot of it coming off at the moment. Lots of mistakes and it's costing them dearly.
Back in the middle of the thump away. Woodville towards half forward. Harper will get another free kick. He's really given Burgess a slip in this quarter. Harper. That's his 7th kick this quarter, do you mind? Up towards Burgess, who dropped the mark. Back to Burgess. Now they can run West Adelaide out of defence through centre wing. Kicks up towards half forward. Winter is there. Takes possession. Back to Schumann. Into the pocket. The mark not paid. Back to Winter, who's lost a boot. Towards Hoy. Manuel. Tony Filkey. Bennett. The kick is beautifully smothered. Randall Bennett with a chance again. Bobbles one towards full forward, but Jack Weir, ever reliable in defence. Goes out to Alex Lunn. Policeman goes towards centre wing and finds Cox. The Warriors moving the ball out of defence on the half-back flank. Kicks towards centre wing, looking for Klug. Off hands. Chance for Harper again. Taps it out wide. De Brenny. Flanked by Clem. Woodville building up an attack up towards full forward. A kick by Clem. Just offline, 1 point. The Warriors 11-9. West 5-9.
Without trying to be overcritical of West Adelaide, the Woodville are breaking tackles far too easily. They're playing in front. West Adelaide just making terrible basic errors, and their intent is good. Their attack on the ball hasn't been bad, but their errors have really cost them.
Well, Klug should have got a free kick for a high tackle. Harbison got it out as far as Walker. Here's a chance for Filkey. Easily West Adelaide's best player. Drives in towards the half-forward line. Getting on the ball is Winter. Lunn there with him. Quickly the big fella Murray whips it out. Too far, Goss. Grosser gets it back. Filkey, here's a chance. Harbison, they need a goal, and they missed again. Well, West Adelaide cannot take a trick.
Trying to analyse some of their problems, Ken, they tend to be going forward of the play a lot. They're not going to the contest as much as they should, and they're getting outnumbered as a result of it. You've got to go to help a player before you can run forward. All those players forward of the pack.
Chance for Goss, up towards goal. I think he's got it. It has Goss his goal, but badly needed one for West Adelaide. That certainly was a much-needed goal to Goss.
Move from full forward, where he kicked a couple in the, or 3 in the first half. Let's watch it in replay. Did well on that occasion, foot to get the ball forward of the pack. Players in a good crumbing position there. One of them was Goss, and he shows his skill around goals. Doesn't mind running at the open face of goal. Pretty accurate kick, and the left footer is posted his 4th. And let's hope for West Adelaide to take their first of a revival.
Yes, Rocky, they've got a deficit of 39 points at the bounce. Foot having a run on the ball against Negri. Negri gets the thump away again. Jeff, he's got the flu. He's certainly not showing it. Over the top, it was Winter who gets it out to Harbison. West Adelaide got a chance. Winter on the lead. That's beautifully put. West Adelaide looking just a little bit better in attack at the moment. Big Walker's up at full forward. He puts it up for grabs. O'Dwyer's there. Walker can't get it, thumped away. Walker in again, needs support, gets it out. Here's a chance now for Rahoy, and he misses again. It looks like it's touched or hit the woodwork or something, but whatever, the result was only a point to the Bloods.
Lifting their work rate just a smidgen, and it's paying off. They're getting more opportunities at goal.
Woodville about to bring the ball back into play. 11-9 play, 6-11, almost 13 minutes into the third quarter. Filkey from behind spoils, kicked off the ground by full about 40 metres towards centre half forward Cox, who are thumped away by Burgess. A chance for Grosser, sits beautifully for him because Bamford loose at centre wing. That's the way he goes. Back to Grosser. Chance for Bennett. Now it's better movement by the Bloods. Into the pocket looking for Peter Winter. Ball thumped away from that player and in fact out of play.
Wrong choice, Ken, to go short on that particular play. Better off to kick over the top of that player's head, having turned him back from goal. At least the ball is deep in defence, it's dangerous, and you've got players running at goal. To go short there, no percentage. What if he marks it there? He's got to do what you could do anyway, kick it long.
Foot had an airy. Harbison floats one in towards the half-forward line. Winter again. West Adelaide starting to make a surge, and they certainly need it. They're down at the moment by 28 points, and Winter's got the football 30 metres out.
Yes, Ken, getting the ball in. This player is dangerous. Goss is dangerous. And the more often they get it in there, the more chance they have of scoring, obviously, and far too much mucking around down the field.
11th kick to the northern end. A real defender's kick off the side of his boot for a point, 6-12 to 11-9.
And that just describes West Adelaide's plight tonight. Just far too inaccurate. Lots of opportunities, and Kevin Morris can see this game slipping away from him. And opportunities like that just can't go astray.
O'Dwyer kicks the champion. He's had a very good game tonight, Richard Champion. Kick number 11. Every great grab on that occasion. A classic catch. Back towards half forward. Klug. Harper towards full forward over the back of the pack. Jakovic a chance. Does it beautifully, Jakovic. No support. Players go in hard and the ball is buried under a pack of players.
Not many players faster than him over the first 5 in the league. Can you show him from a disadvantaged position there, get back in front and almost take that ball to goal?
West Adelaide will concede the point, no question about that at all. It takes the Warriors now to 11-10. West Adelaide 6-12.
Young Ross coming back on the ground, obviously looking for some legs and some bite, but that ball going through centre half back for West Adelaide far too easily.
Patterson to the lead of foot. Oh, the big fellow took a juggling mark, did it well. McKinnon off the half back line, long to the half forward line. Goss makes a metre. Once again a juggling mark. Half forward line too far out to score. He's got Damien Murray in the centre square, but he's going now for Grosser. Grosser 50 metres out. Gee, gives that one a heave. Murray stands his ground in front, over the top, touched off the fingers. O'Dwyer once again doing a good job in defence for Woodville. West Adelaide 6-13, the Warriors 11-10.
And they have some busy little players around the place, giving them lots of opportunities, but their fail to convert in front is really costing them dearly. Kent?
O'Dwyer back towards Romano Negri. The score is a good one by foot. Bumps the ball away and out of play.
Not a bad luxury, is it? You can leave Romano Negri on the bench for a quarter and 3/4 and still be 5 goals up.
Not wrong there, Rocky, that's for sure. Players working hard to get it out. Taken by Goss, back to Tony Filkey. Oh, he looked for Harbison, but it wasn't a good kick. Well, they're still lucky to get out of it, West Adelaide, taken by Grantley. Filkey goes up high towards Damien Murray, over the top of that player's head. A chance for Detman now from the back pocket. Flanked by O'Dwyer. Oh, it's a shocking handball. He'd look for Champion. Tony Filkey ran past the football. Champion did that ever so easily. Centre wing. Cox. Burgess. The ball is paddled out of play.
No intention there, of course, Tony. But it interests me that a player can just put out his hand and push away a player who really wants to tackle him. Peter Banfield there, Champion coming through. Banfield's played in Melbourne in the toughest league in the country and shouldn't be pushed aside that easily.
Newton, Filkey, Schwarz, back towards the half-back line, West Adelaide. Harper again having a good quarter. Tackles a little high. That's the way the umpire will rule. He's 80 metres from goal. Now watch Jakovic go off. Patterson right there with him at the moment. Goes off to the lead into the pocket. Oh, kicks into the man. Winton for West Adelaide. Drives to the half-forward line. Coming through, doing it well as Manuel. Floats one back towards Klug. Too strong in the air. He only had Filkey to beat. Klug on the left leg, puts it up high. Out steams Newton. Jakovic waiting. In front, Newton. Well done, Bennett. He runs into a trouble. and the umpire has said the high tackle. He might have been just a little fortunate to get out of that one. Randall Bennett from centre half back. Let's have a look at the tackle. Gee, I suppose it was a little high.
Pretty good tackle from where I saw it.
Patterson marks on the defensive side of centre. The Bloods trying to work out of defence. 18 minutes gone in the third quarter. Towards centre half forward he goes. Goss is his target. Detman with the football. Romano Negri. Back the champion. Number of options for the Warriors. John Martin towards half forward. Oh, here's a chance now for Klug. Got away from Winton. Short into Jakovic. Put beautiful. Beautifully done.
Patterson, no chance at all there. Once Winton lost his feet, Patterson had no chance of stopping the lead.
Oh, magnificent kick by Jakovic. That's goal number 5, and you won't see any better than that.
No, you won't see a kick much better than that in the famous Graham Campbell pocket, but as the ball came in, I said prior to the goal, beautiful pass from Klug, but he had all the time in the world to do it, and I've been critical tonight of the skills. League footballers missing handballs and kicks in front of goal, but on that occasion, good piece of work by Klug and Jakovic to convert.
Woodville by 33 points. Negri gets the tap, but it's taken away by Banfield. Floats one in towards the half-forward line, well read by Lunn. Gets it back now to Champion in turn. Oh, gee, they're conceding a lot of ground. O'Dwyer gets it around. Manuel's going to have to work hard. Hardy works and gets the free kick in the back, or the mark in the back pocket. Jackware. Oh, Woodville got a chance to run it here. Totham over the top to Martin. No, he's going further afield to Negri. Probably wasn't his better option. Coming in is Harper, having a boomer. Martin, he's got the pace. In the pocket goes Klug. Close, he's got it. Good mark. Going in board. Looking now for Fuller. He's left out to dry. Took the mark. He should have been laid to rest on that one. He had to stand his ground while the ball floated in. And he should have been laid to rest at least by the defence. Short. Oh, I don't really think that Martin was waiting for it. He thought the other option was having a shot for goal.
Banfield, Burgess, McKinnon and Winton all stood alone with their hands on their hips and watched that happen. That is disgraceful. The runner should be out. And if he could take 3 of them off, he should take them off.
Kick number 10, 35 metres out. The kick is high, but it's very straight, and the Warriors have got their 13th goal.
I think that's what they mean when they say once a team hits the field, there's not much the coach can do for them. And when players stand around like that, after, let's have a look at how this happened. But, when players stand around and just watch players get into space by themselves, have a look at this. Martin didn't even want it. He's looking at him saying, what are you giving it to me for? No trouble kicking a goal. He's a very skillful player, but some of those people in that particular play for West Adelaide were pretty ordinary.
Well, it's the Warriors now by 39 points. An enormous job in front of West Adelaide. Harper busted off the football. Winton comes back. Kicks around his body. Bennett takes the mark in the middle of the ground. Into attack go the Bloods. Manuel has played pretty well tonight. Towards Detman. Look at him run. Decides to come back. Oh, it's bad football. This could be a goal to West Adelaide. Lachlan Ross into an open goal. Has he kicked it or not? No, strike me, Pink, he's missed.
Well, he'd be unhappy with it, but I'll ignore that. The simple point was his effort, and his second effort to get to the contest. He was the only player that made an effort to get there. He worked his tail off to get to the contest, did it beautifully, and missed the goal.
I get the impression he wasn't overly happy about it all either. Martin Oss sprints down grandstand side, sets up the play for Klug, doesn't want it, puts it long. Jakovic getting underneath it in front, can't bring it down. Quickly swooping on the ball, open goal, Fuller. Should not miss, does not miss, 14 up.
Well, West Adelaide in the instruction book on basic football, all their crummers were on the other side of the pack, if you like, on the wrong side of the pack. As the ball came in, they took the wrong side. The crumb was obviously going to come down in front of the pack. Fuller there had no trouble reading it. Simple goal, no opposition, in fact, and ran into the open goal.
must confess it's not a good-looking West Adelaide side, but let's give credit where credit's due. Woodville have certainly completely outplayed them. It's hard to find the right words to describe it. Totham, the way of scores, he's run down. He's got support, has been the case for most of the night. That's John Martin. Towards half-forward Cox. Grantley Filkey, gee whiz, gave it to Murray. Back to Filkey like a hot potato. Back to John Martin. To Jack Ware. There's not too much wrong tonight. Towards Romano Negri. Harper. McKinnon's working hard. Schumann. And umpire David Elliott will call for a bounce. It's half-forward right for the Warriors. Almost 24 minutes gone. And this is the third quarter. 14-10 the Warriors. West Adelaide 6-14. Totham. Run down. Thrown to the ground. In goes Swars. Appeal for holding the ball, but not forthcoming.
Not a lot to enthuse about. Small crowd. Uneven contest. Murray hooks it back. Well, taken off Milsom by Totham. Drives into the pocket, looking there for Klug. Winton right there with him. Doesn't make a huge attempt to keep the ball in play. Klug has an anxious look at umpire Elliott, hoping he might have got a free. The umpire not sympathetic at all. Throw in full forward right pocket. Woodville in attack. They have kicked 7 goals for this quarter to 1-7 by West Adelaide. Harper over the top. Klug hooks around the corner. Jakovic can't quite. Burgess lost the football. In goes Winton. Oh dear, the umpire didn't see it that way. And McKinnon certainly made sure it went across the line, and he comes up proppy. Right forward pocket.
No doubt that was a deliberate out of bounds on the full. Every effort he could to get out of bounds there, Ian.
Damien Murray. Milsom deep in defence. Wobbles ball back. It's only Woodville, and Big Negri takes the easiest of marks. Now he's got Newton in short. Jakovic behind him. But getting back and taking a nice mark in defence is Leon Grosset.
West Adelaide captain. About to bring the ball out of defence. Back towards centre wing. Negri. Up go the big hand. It's a top grab. Over to Martin. As we see Negri here. Great grab.
West Adelaide going out of their way to find Negri.
The action now with Cox. 10.5 forward. He's not playing too badly. Negri for a man who's supposed to be ill. Supposedly ill.
Ought to get the flu more often.
I think you're right there, Daisy. And an advanced free kick into the square against the West Adelaide defender, so one could certainly say, Rocky, things aren't going at all well for the Bloods.
No, it's the benefit of the 2-umpire system. One can have a close look at what's going on behind play, and obviously Cox about to lead was interfered with.
So it's Harper with his 10th kick this quarter. Straight in front, kicks goal number 4, like shelling peas.
Well, Harper has been a star this quarter. He's kicked 3, he's been in everything, and he's an opportunist. He's got a lot of skills. He plays very tall. In other words, I mean, he's good in the air. He's got a good approach to the ball, can take a mark, and across half forward, a real danger.
Rocky, what would be going through the mind now of Kevin Morris, the West Adelaide coach? Sitting up in the stand watching it. There he is now.
Well, the dishevelled mess that's on the ground that's representing West Adelaide certainly isn't of his making, I don't think. And as I said, when players get on the ground, there's not much you can do to help them when they ignore the basics.
Neville, I thought they played poorly against Norwood, but this leaves it for dead. That's Woodville playing well, however, taking nothing away from them. Grantley Filkley's battling on, but once again it's Schwarz who kicks the ball to the half-forward line. Tapped out cleverly in front of De Brenny on the left leg. Jakovic into the pocket, beautifully put again. Gee, he's quick on the lead, does it so well. I thought he came up limping after a previous exchange, but certainly he doesn't look at all proppy there. He's 35 out, 45-degree angle, and he's an excellent kick off the mark, and he has not missed again. What a beautiful kick. 9 kicks, goal number 6, and the Warriors go on their merry way.
Well, he's been a very dangerous player as well. De Brenny there looks up, and it's a simple thing to do, but Jakovic is always running to the player, to his eyes. In other words, when the player looks up, he's the first. When the player with the ball looks up, the first thing he sees is Jakovic, and Jakovic is always running to the easiest spot to kick. Sensible forward play, and he's a brilliant shot at goal.
Back in the middle. Almost 28 minutes gone, the third quarter. Murray the tap. Bo's working hard in the square. Towards Clem. Half order goes. Tapped on cleverly by Harper to Cox. Cox into the pocket. Shimon ran, in fact, Tonkin ran past the footy. Smothered beautifully by Totham. Concedes ground, goes back to Clem. They're doing it at half pace, the Warriors. Fair income they are. Onto the left boot towards half forward. 2 against 1. Klug. Filkey. That's Tony Filkey. Taken by Patterson. The running player towards centre. Goss through his hands. Deppman with the chance. Runs past the football. Now here's a chance for West Adelaide. Leon Grosser runs in. Should draw the player. Goes the long handball. Over towards the foot. Foot in an open goal. Kicks West Adelaide's 7th and his 1st.
Well, some response by West Adelaide, but as I said earlier today, they're just not attending to the basics. Really tonight, they're making life a lot harder than it should be. Beautifully done by Winter to get it out. The run was Gross's. Once again, players forward of the pack that's getting easy kicks. They're not getting them where they should get them, over the top. Easy goal, and that's where the contest is. The players must get to the contest, and they must outnumber Woodville if they're going to get some face back.
Foot had a bit of a fumble there. Would have been embarrassing had he missed it. Negri getting the ruck repeatedly now out of the centre, but this time it's McKinnon who takes it away for the Bloods. Kicks in long up to the lead of Winter. Thumped away from that player. In defence. Oh, Champion just caught a little high, you might say. Down he goes. Comes up, but what a magnificent player he's been tonight for Woodville. Ducked into that one a little bit.
Graham Campbell would say, there's your head, what'd you hurry?
Harper at centre wing. Klug is short. Wintered in on top, but he's taken the mark well. Wants to play on. And the umpire said, no, 50 metres. You were trying to fox. Klug has been a fine player this evening. He's up at centre at the moment. Big Newton goes for a trundle. Off goes Jakovic into the pocket. It's going to be one-on-one. Or McKinnon gets back. Can't take it. Going through was Clem. Now Filkey. High tackle, and you'll find the free kick will go to McKinnon on the half-back flank.
McKinnon. Centre wing. Goss. Off hands in that play. Him and Swartz collide. Oh, gee whiz. Goss went in a bit hard then. Champion caught one again. It's his second in the last 60 seconds. Almost 31 minutes gone in this third quarter. Champion gets up and wipes his face. By Semler. Negri with the tap straight to Clem. He's sat upon. Brantley Filkey with an opportunity. Oh, picked it up superbly. Up towards foot. Lunn. Peter Winter now with a chance. A high ball. Leon Grosser. Dettman one-on-one. Dettman in front. He gets support from Jack. Where tackled by Grosser. Got to be holding the ball. Good decision by umpire David Elliott.
And that was good play. Grosser really lifting himself out of absolute pride. Desperate stuff. Gets to the contest, and that's good, hard football by the little fella. An example to his players, and that they can well to follow his lead.
Kick number 14 for Grosser. Has booted one, a chance to kick his second. The accuracy is the only concern, on about a 45-degree angle. It's in close to the man on the mark. Has he got it in? We wait on the goal umpire. He has just snuck it in, his second, and West Adelaide's 8th.
Once again, Jack Weir caught with the ball. Good effort by, second effort by Grosser to get to the contest and to get to that tackle. And the little fella, no trouble in posting a goal from close in. Lunn looked at the goal umpire, and as from our point of view, our vantage point, we thought it might have been a little astray. Lunn certainly did, but nonetheless, big quarter to West Adelaide.
A 32-minute quarter, but then again, the Warriors have kicked 9 goals during it. Negri up again, gets a tap away. Could have dropped the ball, did Totham, but the umpire said play on. Milsom in there looking for the free kick and cleverly wins it. Siren sounds, and at three-quarter time, it's the Warriors by 44 points.
Not a lot of good news for West Adelaide supporters, as I said during the game. They haven't attended to the basics, they don't get to the contest, they don't support each other in numbers, they're not hard enough, and basically Kevin Morris would be going out there to give them one good message. Gee,
comment there, Rocky Roberts. At three-quarter time, Woodville 16 goals, 10, 106. lead the Bloods 8-14, 62. You're watching the game live on 9's Wide World of Sports. Welcome back to Football Park. Look at that scoreline at three-quarter time. Woodville kicked 9 goals in that quarter, 16-10 to West Adelaide 8-14.
Certainly sealed the fate of the Bloods. Goss, performer there with 4. Grosser has 2. But Jakovic really got away that quarter. Kicked 4, has 6 now. And Harper, a real star as well, has 4.
Gee, Rocky, you were pretty critical before the commercial break of West Adelaide's performance. Is this the worst you've seen from him for a long time?
You're just sensitive because your beloved Bloods are in a lot of trouble, pal.
You're right there.
But I just feel, and I'll push it down to Graham to answer it. Graham, I just think that they're sitting too forward of the play, a lot of their players. They really don't want to win the ball at the contest. They're not doing any of the hard things. They're not hunting in numbers. I mean, you reckon it'd be the last game of the year or something with nothing to fight for. I mean, there's no enthusiasm, no real desire. And one particular incident there, Fuller kicked a Martin who didn't even want the ball, and 4 West Adelaide players are standing around with their hands on their hips.
It's almost as if, Rocky, that they've decided West Adelaide tonight's not their night. I mean, till half-time, a good contest. Both sides having a real go. It was up for grabs, but 9 goals that quarter to Woodville, 4 to Jakovic in particular, and 3 to Phil Harper has just really put a real dampener on the night for West Adelaide supporters, and they're not happy, I tell you. As I walked down to this little spot down here, having a real dash at me saying 1 to 10, that sort of stuff. I didn't say 1 to 10 tonight, I said 11 to 20.
Can't have your cake and eat it too, mate.
No, it's all right. Listening to me from time to time.
Well, Graham, it certainly was a Jakovic-Harper show in that quarter, although Jakovic played extremely well.
What can he so alert, isn't he? As I've said many times, he needn't mark the ball. He's just at home with the ball coming to ground level because he's like a rover. He's after it, like the rat up the drain pipe. And he's got it, and he puts it through from all angles. Can he kick the goal from the impossible angle? It's buried me for all time, that. You notice that in Death Valley? He went bang, no worries at all. He put it through as if he'd been doing it all his life.
You're trying to take the acid off yourself. It's called Graham Campbell's Responsible Pocket, not Death Valley.
I didn't want to mention my own name, that's all, because, you know, you can be criticised for that once too often, but no, it was a great goal by Jakovic. It never deviated. It went through post high, and he just walked back as if he can do it every time, and you really can't every time, but maybe he can.
Graham, have you seen the performance of the West Adelaide 2 big guys in Damien Murray and Foot?
I thought Murray was all right early, Ken, more than serviceable. He gravitated to full forward during that term, and Peter Foot did most of the work on the ball. Not bad, they're workers, they're having a dip, and I think Murray, with plenty of football, can be a top league footballer.
We're just watching Grosser run into an open goal here, and he actually did work reasonably hard that quarter, gave it over the top to Foot, Graham, and went into an easy goal. But West Adelaide just not cohesive at all, Graham. Not playing together, not understanding, and their mistakes, their hand errors and foot errors are just unbelievable.
Well, one classic example was Lachlan Ross when he chased and forced that error, then he missed the goal from point blank range and he buried his head in his hands for 5 minutes after that. Poor little fella. I felt for him, but really he's having a dip, Lachlan Ross. You can't ask for more than that from a 16-year-old lad, and if more of his teammates took his example, they'd be a lot closer.
Oh, I'm glad you said that, because he was the only player I've seen make a real second effort all night for West Adelaide. He chased for 40 metres, but the least of his sins was missing the goal.
I can only agree with you, Rocky.
Good on you, Graham. He always agrees with you, Rocky, doesn't he?
He's a good judge. He's a good judge.
Okay, let's now take you back to your commentator, Ian Day.
The Warriors by 44 points. West hasn't made any changes. They're going with a combination to finish the third quarter. At the start of the last, it's the Warriors 16-10, West Adelaide 8-14. Negri against Murray at the bounce. Negri got the tap away, but it didn't go all that far. Taken away by Hoy. Half forward line. Manuel getting back. Ross at the back of the pack, but it's cleverly out to Jackware, who's had a good night. Although that kick's not all that flash. Went higher than longer, and it's taken by Goss outside the half forward line. Goss looking for a lead now from Winter. Well, he's got Foot in the square, going in high, up towards the big fellow, gets the leap away, can't bring it down. Bennett a chance, lost a football. Here's a chance, Tony Filkey hooks around the corner, not going to make the grade, and thumped out of play by Schwarz in the back pocket. A throw in, adjacent to the behind post, 16-10 to 8-14.
Good performance by the Warriors, disappointing one by West Adelaide. Foot, Negri works to the front position, taken by Clem. Good handball finds Lund, and watch him run out of defence. This bloke's played superbly tonight, Richard Chair, but he really has. Kick number 14. from centre half back, out towards Klug. With him is Winton. Oh, not intending keeping the ball in play, quite happy to throw it away, and the ball goes out of play.
West Adelaide very indirect, and now Woodville doing very much the same thing. No percentage in going wide like that, particularly when you've got half forwards who are winning the ball.
Boundary umpire, and the ball back into play. Taken by Burgess, who are almost holding the ball. In fact, it is holding the ball against Tony Burgess. And the free kick will be taken by Fuller.
I might have seen that incorrectly, but he looked like he tried to kick that with the back of his heel. He's got his circus out there or something.
Well, I've tried most things tonight, Westies, I can tell you. And not much has worked for them. Fuller will go to the lead of Djakovic. With him is Patterson. Djakovic the body, feeling for the free kick. Murray gets a good handball. Finds Patterson. Now where will Patterson kick it to? Towards Winter. Manuel. Klug. Klug will go short. Schwarz is the player. He looks for Clem, but they come off the side of the boot, and the mark has been taken by Bennett.
Randall Bennett is half back flank, edges the ball back up towards centre wing. Oh, big mark over the top by Goss. Playing out at centre half forward now, after he kicked 4 goals at full forward. As he goes across, the big fellow now, Winton, goes for a bounce. He should get the handball over. It ought to be a goal. Hoy puts it up, and it's another terrible kick. In fact, he's booted it out of play on the full. Well, now West Adelaide's kicked 3 goals 7 in the third quarter, and many of those shots for goal were point-blank range. And I agreed with the comment that Neville Roberts made that West Adelaide are playing totally with lack of spirit.
Well, they are playing with lack of spirit, and the only way out of these sort of situations is for people to just start having a go, running into patch, getting numbers around the ball, getting enthusiastic. Just ignore the scoreboard. That doesn't matter to West Adelaide now. They're going to start working and getting themselves up again, and it's very difficult. But there's no leaders out there at the moment. No one's showing the way. The closest is Grosser at the moment.
Well, he's their captain. Murray. John Martin. Back to the man we were talking about. That's Leon Grosser. Champion. Oh, did that beautifully. Cool as you like. Back to Jack. He's in strife, but he's good enough to get out of it. Left foot kick back to centre wing. Taken by Tottenham. The Harper. Away they go. It's good stuff by the Warriors. DeBernie ends up with the footy. Run through half forward. Has a bounce. Djakovic turns back. He goes into the square looking for Djakovic. Off hands. Chance for Patterson. Westies with a chance to get out of defence here. That's a good handball. Winton to Hoy. Now what will he do with the footy? Banfield's loose. He'll go to Winter surely. Yes, Winter is the player that's loose. He kicks to half forward. Winter. Started at centre half back. Kicks up towards centre half forward. Champion is there and takes the mark. Well, he's got a boomer.
The opportunity was to come back through the centre of the ground. Banfield was there. And once again, they chose to go wide. I just don't understand that sort of mentality. It just shows a lack of thought.
50 metres. Champion actually kicked into the man on the mark. Umpire David Elliott said he'd gone over the mark, and he's got a 50-metre penalty, and I think that's the first for the evening. Centre field Champion, one of the candidates for best on ground. Clem. Oh, they're just mucking around with the ball now. Schwarz goes out towards Djakovic on the lead. And if I were a betting man, I'd put a Coca-Cola on this. He's 35 metres out. He's on a 60-degree angle, but this doesn't seem to faze their star full forward. 10th kick. Oh, the umpire does not move a muscle.
But Djakovic pretty pleased with himself. He's deadly accurate in front of goal. Schwarz, the kick, the lead once again, and you might notice Schwarz on his right foot normally would have to turn it backwards in towards the goal post, but Djakovic splitting the centre always runs to the players' eyes, so when they look up they see him, and he always runs to the foot with which they kick with to make it very easy. Very intelligent forward play and a brilliant shot at goal.
Back in the middle, Negri. Murray, Negri with the tap. They've been impressive, Woodville, tonight. And having said that, West Adelaide have been bitterly disappointing. But you can do no more than kick the opposition off the ballpark, and that's exactly what the Warriors have done tonight. Tors goes over the top. Klug. Fuller working hard. Totham's in there. But umpire Elliott will once again call for a bounce. 6.5 minutes into the final term. The Warriors 17-10, 112. West Adelaide 8-14, 62. You're watching it live on Nine's Wide World of Sports.
Bennett off the side of his boot to the outer side. Grantley Filkey, who had a brilliant first half, got a little quieter since then. Couldn't have kept up the pace. Great smother off Winton's boot. Butters up again, misses Murray. Fuller needs help. Murray through. Working hard for the ball to Brenny. Likewise in there is West Adelaide's Schumann, is it? Let's see, no, Banfield it is, as he comes up for air. And the umpire will bounce. I was right the first time, Schumann. A bounce centre field, 17-10 to 8-14. At the bounce, Negri tries to back knock it. Couldn't get it away. Bennett has an airy. Full at the bottom of the pack, throws it out. Oh, big Negri lumbers out with the football. Gives a chance for Klug, who needs the set and support. Negri butters up in the 1-2. The big fellow did it well. Out comes Jakovic. Went over that fellow's head. Back on it now, Cox. Needs support. Jakovic close to the line. One to beat. Oh, lost the football. But the umpire said it was out of bounds. I don't know that it ever was, although the goal umpire usually fits in pretty well with the boundary umpire. And even though he was 40 or 50 metres behind the track, they showed superb teamwork there by indicating the ball was over the line.
Yes, the goal umpire, Don Bill, signalled to the boundary umpire was out of play. It's good teamwork. As Burgess kicks away, the ball goes out of play.
I like that bit. That might be the team you pick in the challenge match, Ken.
You're right there, Rocky. Yes, watching the umpires in action. The next couple of weeks will be very interesting.
Make sure they got a city leaning, please, Ken.
I'll look after you, Rock. As Tottenham kicks around the body, spoiled. Harbison there. Once again, the ball is forced out of play. 8 minutes gone, the final term. Big performance by the Warriors tonight. Russell Ebert would be over the moon. Very important game for both sides. As Tonkin goes over the top. Chance for Filkey, that's Grantley Filkey. But again, the ball is paddled out of play. Daisy, see if you can't get things moving, old son.
Yes, Ken, it's coming to a bit of a dead end. The Warriors far too good. West Adelaide started pretty well in the first 15 minutes. They got out of the blocks, but then they must have broken a fetlock because nothing's happened since then. Murray got up and down before acceptances. The handball missed who it was meant for, and Filkey. They're going to lose it again, I think, or are they? In there doing the hard work is big Garth Newton, and umpire Elliott indicates that he's going to bounce. A bounce on the half-forward right flank. The Warriors in attack where they've been most of the evening. Boy, smothered again. This time it's Tonkin. Can Harbison take it away? To the half-forward line, but once again, it's Richard Champion in defence. Gee, what a marvellous player he's been tonight. Finds De Brenny, done a top job too. De Brenny, tack side of the big centre circle. Thought about a handball, asked to play on. Out steams Jakovic. Gee, they put the last two over his head. At the back of the pack now, making a metre, is Harper. Got to come back in, Jakovic. Now I bet he can't boot one from here. No, he missed by a country kilometre. Put it up for grabs. Oh, the free kick will have to go for a high tackle, and it's going to be Tonkin at fullback.
Now, as far as the country kilometre, Daisy, as we see Harbison takes the mark. Plays on quickly, back towards the centre of the ground. Up go the arms of big Negri. Doesn't look too ill to me tonight, I can tell you. Comes back towards De Brenny. He loses the football. Well, this man's probably West Adelaide's best player, Leon Grosser, in my opinion. Over to Grantley Filkey, lost possession, then went back the second time. A high kick up towards half forward. Goss, a good mark, goes over the top of the foot's a shocker. Gee whiz, you can't believe that. Away they go, the Warriors. Well, that's an example of just how bad West Adelaide have played tonight. Back towards Romano Negri. He goes back to Champion, who's played an absolute belter tonight. Doesn't find the body in this occasion. Now, here goes Lachlan Ross. Take your pick. They both mess it up. Oh, gee, this is unbelievable stuff. No barrack for them. Out towards De Brenny from the centre of the ground. He'll break the tackle. No, he won't. He get caught, but goes to Klug. Klug into the pocket. Beautifully put. And it's Big Newton.
how you can miss the body so many times with the ball. I mean, it is quite incredible, and how frustrating for Kevin Morris.
Newton with the kick, it's coming back, it's goal number 18, his first.
And, Ken's suicidal here in the bunker. Doesn't know what to do about his poor Klug running through the centre, absolutely unmanned. And Newton, have a look at that. Winton nowhere near him, and Klug has been fairly dominant in the last half, was held early, got back into it, so was Harper, he's back into it, and that third quarter and final quarter's stars for Woodville.
Peter Swars has gone to the bunker, got a big hand from the crowd here, predominantly the Warriors, as Filkey comes away with the ball. Top kick, couldn't find Winter. Banfield running into trouble, out of trouble, floats one high into the pocket, getting back on it, so Dwyer, and takes the easy defensive mark. West Adelaide, I can tell you, can do no wrong at the moment. They're just making elementary mistakes. It must be very disappointing for their supporters, including KG. Martin drives out long, up towards the half-forward line. Getting back on the ball was Cox, but it's Winton who beats him there. Winton has time to have a look, slips a handball back out to Burgess, who'll make a metre off the half-back line. West Adelaide into attack. A long kick going up towards the half-forward line. Thumped away from Winter. Champion will be first there. No, Parsons having his first run for the evening. Kicks long and finds Cox half-forward line. He's almost at centre wing as he brings the ball back into centre, looking for Fuller. Up over the top went McKinnon. Tonkin back. Bennett now hooks around the corner, back towards centre field. And the mark taken by Tottenham. Looks for a runner. One obliges. Martin is out wide. Off goes Jakovic into the pocket. But Kluger's going to beat him to the football. They're raffling it up there. They're doing it so easily. Kluger's 40 out. Most acute angle. But he's going to shoot for the aluminium. Jakovic gave a lead but aborted. And it's now going to be Klug. To the northern end. No breeze, and he has kicked another one. Oh, their next trick will be walking on water.
Well, you'll be happy, young fella, with your team tonight, because they're doing the impossible right now. As Romano Negri comes off for another couple of blue shots. On goes Tommy Williams, and Klug with the catch. Goes back and quite deliberately splits the centre with this. We saw Jakovic do it earlier in this quarter, and that is a brilliant shot at goal. There's very little wind to speak of out there, and that's his second goal, and the Warriors really on fire.
It's a funny business, this sport. When you're hot, you're hot. When you're cold, you're cold. Woodville are hot, Westies are frozen.
Rigor mortis, mate.
Kick by Grosser up towards centre half forward. Lund comes out, meets the football, taken by Filkey. Around his body, up towards full forward. Murray tapped that well, taps it back but no support, taken by Jack there. Here's a goal, surely, from Goss. Oh no, well there you go. It's unbelievable stuff by Jack Weir. Daisy, you play for the Bloods. What's going on?
Ken, I'm not prepared to admit it right now, but I hope there's not a telegraph pole between here and your home, because I reckon you'll be hanging from it in the morning. Guarantee you. Full forward left pocket. You know, if they tried to make these mistakes, I'm sure they couldn't make them look so simple. I think they'll have a ball up there. 19-10 to 8-14. Romano Negri reported to have had the flu, but he did his job and did it extremely well. I thought Newton was as good as any Woodville player in the first half, but since then he hasn't had the opportunities. Tottenham gets the ball back towards the half-back line. Filkey looking for the free kick. The umpire's going to pay it, and he's got it 45 metres out on a most acute angle. Grantley Filkey having his 22nd kick. Had a blinding first half, but like a lot of his teammates, they've gone missing in the second half. Although Filkey has been one of the better players in the second half as well, and so is his brother, incidentally. Well, that's a nice looking kick, and Grantley Filkey, who's not known for his straight kicking, marvellous kick through the middle, his first.
Always a very high kick winner and possession getter. Grantley Filkey, plenty of pace, plenty of skill, and that time had to play it up a little bit, and we've got an award in Hollywood for that one, but did it well, and he has all the skills of the Magarey medalist he is. Had no trouble steering that through the middle, but far too late for the Bloods.
Lachlan Ross off for West Adelaide, young David Milsom on. Down goes the bounce. Too many players in the square. Who's offended? No, in fact, he's called for a rebound. Umpire David Elliott. Hasn't been an easy game to umpire tonight. They've been umpired too badly. Bounce, in my opinion that is, taken by Hoy towards half forward. Oh, gee, Lunge Filkey one. He's down. That was totally unnecessary. Young Tony Filkey is down. Over towards Detman.
And there's a boundary umpire no more than 5 metres away.
Well, I saw exactly what happened. The ball came out to De Branny. De Branny goes up towards centre half forward. A good mark taken by John Martin. It annoys me when it happens to the kids. Martin. He's about 4'6", Tony Filkey. Wouldn't step on an ant.
Don't talk about height, Ken.
Martin. 35 metres from goals. It wobbles off, or from goal, should I say, and only a minor score. That annoys me, Neville. That really does.
It's out of character for Lund to participate in that, and you can see the frustration that exists amongst the Woodville camp. But as I said, out of character for Lund. Not that I'll let him off of that. I agree with you. Kids don't deserve to be brought into that sort of stuff.
Tonkin on the half back line, back towards centre wing. McKinnon in the sandwich, thumped away from that player by Jackware, and he's been another top player for Woodville in defence. In fact, I don't think one of their defenders has put a foot wrong. They've been superb this evening. They've defended to the state of about 9 goals. At the throw in, Newton gets it down. Looking for Tommy Williams. At the bottom of the pack was Milsom. And once again, the umpire will ball it up. Umpire Stephen Semler. Tommy Williams, who's spent some time in the bunker, as has young Milsom. A bounce, centre wing. The Warriors slightly in attack. Newton getting his chance back on the ball again. Manuel can't. Rosser can. High to the half-forward line, getting back on it and showing a lot of courage is Detman, and takes the easy one half-back flank. Woodville is still running. Put it out wide out to the outer side. Well put to Williams. He needs a runner. Finds it at Martin. Clem will get it next. The Warriors underway. Jakovic wants it in the pocket. It's going to be put out towards that player. He's going to get caught on his left leg. He's got nowhere to go. He comes back now to Tottenham. Misses that player as he concedes about 30 metres. Tottenham under pressure. Over the top goes Bennett, and the umpire's going to ball it up on the half-forward left flank for the Warriors.
I was almost holding the ball then, Daisy, against Tottenham. Umpire Semler. It's young Tottenham there, number 5. Bounce down. Grosser, head over the football, working hard, supported by McKinnon. Goes the way of Bennett. He's sat upon, almost stolen by Fuller. Arvison. Heavy stuff in the packs there. Tottenham again. And umpire Semler will once again call for a bounce down. 19 minutes gone the final quarter. Woodville 19-11, West 9-14. Umpire Semler, full of concentration. Clem wobbles off the side. Detman, got a top game tonight, Detman. Oh, they mess it up on that occasion, Woodville. Parsons and Cox. Body's going down, and umpire Semler once again will call for a bounce.
It's on the half-forward line. Nearly 20 minutes gone. And the contest is over. And the spectacle has never really been on. Not trying to knock the game. Woodville has obviously played a lot better. But they haven't, or they've had little opposition. Newton, brilliantly done. Well, going through was Tonkin, lost the ball. Tommy Williams shoots for goal. Just fades away at the last moment for another point.
So Woodville still doing all the attacking, and West Adelaide putting up very little opposition at the moment, and this game will and truly leaves the scoreline. 126 plays 68. What a disastrous night for the Blacks.
Grabbed by Cox on that occasion. Half forward. Left foot kick up towards full forward. Jakovic, almost a mark, Jakovic. In the middle of the pack. Works hard for it. Back on the left boot, then finally kicks out of bounds on the full. So Patterson will take the free kick. Jakovic has booted 7. He's had a big night. He really has. He's kicked some great goals. Patterson, his man there, Paul Patterson. Rocky said. Jakovic conceded some height to Patterson. So quick, Jakovic. Back to the half-back flank. Off hands. De Brenny. The ball out of play. Don't forget tonight, of course, right after the footy at 10:35, it's Robbo's Well Tonight. All the news of the world in his own sort of comical way. Throw in. De Brenny breaks the first tackle, count the second. Gets it the third time. Tony Filkey's in there. So was Tommy Williams. It's scrambly stuff at the moment. Umpire calling play on. Players working hard. And again, umpire Semler will call for a bounce. Put a foot on the bottom of the pack.
It's difficult to umpire when it's like that. Full marks to Stephen Semler. Let them try to get out of it, but they couldn't. In the end, he was forced to bounce the football. Gee, there's a few players on the ball there. There's got to be 20. He's going to recall the bounce. He might as well let the throw in. It might have cleared it a bit quickly, or more quickly, but the umpire's got to go and get it back again. The boundary umpire thought he was going to get some exercise. Stephen Semler, half forward left flank. That's a better bounce. Foot gets the tap down. Tonkin. Newton left it behind. Oh, a high tackle on Banfield, and he's going to get the free kick. Sort one out of that, and Banfield to ease the pressure for West Adelaide.
He was a good player early, Daisy, but dropped out of it in the last half.
He's had a few mates, Rocky. Oh, top mark. This fellow's impressed me, young Mark Manuel. I haven't seen a lot of him, but he's played a useful game in that back pocket as he gives it to Jacquia. He goes to the half-forward line, but in defence, it's Foot. Foot will foot the ball out of defence towards the centre field. I'm taking over from Robbo. Do you think I'm funnier? Champion.
Don't give up your day job, pal.
I'm not going to give up commentating either.
Out towards centre wing. There's a beautiful line there, but I can't use it. Burgess. The handball away to Winton, the running play up towards centre half forward. Over the top. Beautifully done by Murray. Towards Grosser. Great goal, West Adelaide.
And undoubtedly their skipper, one of their better players, had to stop working, but had very few opportunities. Winton put the ball in very high, long kick, and the benefit of coming straight down the ground, Murray decides to go over the back, obviously called to from Grosser, resting in the forward pocket, and one goal to the man, and he's done a very good job tonight, Leon Grosser. That's his third goal.
Woodville by 52 points and doing it on the bit, although young Grosser just boots his third. He'll like me for calling him young, but everything in life is comparative. Williams gives it back to Champion. Champion high to the outer side with his umpteenth kick, searching for it. Burgess, well taken by Parsons. Jakovic! Oh, what a mark, what a pass, beautifully put. Nothing that Patterson could do. He was on him like a second skin, but still couldn't cut off the pass. And Jakovic, who comes up proppy, is going to kick his 8th goal. Now, I've got to be confident because he's threaded them through this evening from everywhere, and he's got to be the greatest value for kicks player that you've seen off a set shot. Alan Jakovic, not very tall, as Ken said, but Colin Church it wasn't, and he kicked a few goals at full forward, and Jakovic so easily boots 8.
Off a very short run-in. He's an unusual player in some respects, Jakovic, that he doesn't come down the ground very much. He stays very close to goal. But when he's on a lead, he's very hard to beat. He holds back and then launches himself at the ball all the time. Good with his body, impeccable in front of goals. He's 8.
Back in the middle. A free kick will go West Adelaide's way. Too many Woodville players in the square. Peter Foot is the recipient as we go into time on in the final quarter. Bumped away by Lunn. A free kick will be paid to Woodville here. In defence, Des O'Dwyer. After a slow start, it's certainly tightened his game. O'Dwyer. Looking for options upfield. Goes to Garth Newton, who started superbly. Over the pack. Look at this, Woodville players everywhere. Take your pick. Harper or De Brenny. De Brenny takes it. tucks it under his arm, goes into the pocket, looking for Jakovic, takes it on the first bounce, Jakovic, wheels back. This is a mark to Clem. It is like shelling peas, fair dinkum it is. Number of players at the fall of the ball, they just run in numbers. Looks superb.
Good kick by Jakovic, had a look over his shoulder and put it straight to Clem.
Clem. 45-degree angle. It's home. Woodville's 21st goal.
Well, it was a good lead by Jakovic. Klug was there as well. He gave way to Jakovic. Plenty of pace there. Patterson manages to get around. He has a look over his shoulder. Decides not to go at goal, but to chip it back in front of goal. He saw Clem in front as well as Cox, and the kick was brilliant. As the applause for Klug as he comes off, as he heads towards goal. No problem, Clem, in posting his second goal.
At the bounce, 21-12 to 10-14, and we've played 27 minutes. Must be very close to the final siren. Newton and Foot got the tap away. Filkey further, champion again. Got to be close to best on ground for mine. 20 kicks from centre half back's not a bad performance. Burgess gives it across now to Schumann, goes out wide. Randall Bennett needs to sit in a hurry. He'll go back inside to Brenny, who's starting to struggle a bit. He looks like he's got a gammy leg, but the kick wasn't good, and once again it finds Parsons. Parsons this time to Detman, who left it behind. He'll need running support. Oh, he runs into a crook old tackle, got hit in the nut, and he will get the free kick, goes out wide. Now Parsons needs to sit. Filkey goes through. Parsons back again. West Adelaide swarm onto the ball. Filkey high off the side of his boot. Having to make a metre there was Newton. Banfield couldn't. Quickly on the ball is Bennett. Now Woodville come away. It's to Brenny again as he goes to the half-forward line. Well put to Swars. Swars' handball is his worst for the evening. Schumann through. He'll need support as well if he can ever find the handle. He can't. Clem likewise. Burgess, and the high tackle will go to the centre half back for West Adelaide. Burgess goes out wide. Manuel's a leaper behind at the back of the pack. It's taken away by Detman. Manuel caught him. Woodville just run the ball casually out of defence as Fuller finds Clem on the half-forward right flank. Clem is too far out to score.
Clem now with an opportunity. Up towards half-forward. In fact, centre half-forward over the back of the pack. McKinnon looks sore. Harper's with him. Had a sensational second half. Filkey, that's Tony Filkey, champion working hard. Tony Filkey does it cleverly on this occasion. Back to Patterson. His kick is smothered. Harbison with an opportunity. West Adelaide just going through the motions at the moment. Peter Winter loses the football. Totham, Tony Filkey. Totham with the handball over towards DeBrenny, who's played well tonight. Over to Champion. Oh, beautifully done to Champion. Throws it onto the left foot, up towards full forward, but just a little astray.
Oh, Ken, that would have topped his night off if he had to kick the goal. That would have been the end. Gee, he's a little bit gimpy. I think he's got cramp as he goes for the toes. That's a sure sign, and for the amount of work he's put in this evening, you can understand why he's starting to cramp up. Ball to the line. Cox a little disappointed. 21-13 to 10-14. And you've got to say Woodville has done extremely well. The opposition was a little bit suspect, as we've mentioned repeatedly, but you can only win. DeBrenny going to have a shot at goal. This could bounce through. They've got another one. His first, and they're 22nd.
Good opportunist goal. Had no problem posting that at all, and it's really only academic now, but the tap back. Good setup. Fuller got it off to DeBrenny. There's the 50-metre line, so it's a pretty good kick. Covered plenty of distance. No one covering the square for the Warriors. And an easy goal. And for DeBrenny, that's his first goal. And he's had 16 kicks.
Back in the centre, too many West Adelaide players in the square. As a consequence, a free kick to Woodville. It's a good mark on that occasion to Parsons. And there's the siren. Woodville home by 71 points.
Not a good night. There's the scoreline, and as Ken said, 71 points. There's no glee there for Kevin Morris or West Adelaide. Good contest to half-time, but after half-time, Harper, Klug and Champion all got on top. Woodville did it very easily in the end, and West Adelaide, with plenty of problems to solve, only 4 days was to do it in.
You're not wrong, Neville. Final scores here at Football Park. Woodville 22-13, 145. Defeated West Adelaide 10-14, 74. We'll be back in just a moment.
And welcome back to Football Park, and look at that. Gee, being a West Adelaide supporter, that does hurt. 22 goals, 13 the Warriors. Well played, the Warriors. West Adelaide 10-14, 74.
Well, after the Redlegs went down, I'm glad to see that scoreline for you. For the Bloods, Goss kicked 4, Grosser kicked 3, Jakovic kicked 8 for the Warriors. What a great display that was. Harper in the third quarter kicked 3, finished with 4, Klug 2 and Clem 2.
Well, Rocky, let's be positive. How did you see Woodville's performance now? OK, keeping in mind that West Adelaide played poorly, but overall, how did you see Woodville's performance?
Well, in the first half when the pressure was on, both sides made a lot of mistakes,
Yep.
including Woodville. There were times when they just didn't hit the body with a handball, and I think Russell Ebert, whilst he's had a good win, in the end I think he would finish up happy, but early days when the pressure was on, they could have quite easily, that game could have got unmanageable for them. West Adelaide frittered away opportunities in that first quarter, and should have been 3 or 4 goals up at half-time, went in level, and then just fell away. And no one can understand why that sort of thing happens, but it would concern Kevin Morris.
Well, if you were Kevin Morris, what sort of things would you be aiming to do from here, looking at their performance tonight?
Oh, I'm trying to think what the Redlegs can do. Blow West Adelaide, but I don't think there's a lot you can do. It comes back to players' confidence. Once they're out on the ground, they have a real problem following orders, obviously. I mean, they're undermanned a little bit, but they have got basically some very good players. I think it comes down to how some of the players are playing the game. I said at half-time, I feel that the players are not getting to the contest, they're not helping each other. Their basic skills were letting them down, and players were sitting forward of the play, not going to the contest. And football's not a difficult game, Ken. if you just attend to the basics, you can play pretty well. As soon as you get a bit too scientific, you get away from the basics, you run into problems. And not that I'm accusing Kevin Morris of being scientific, but tonight their players have really got to have a close look at themselves. That was a dreadful performance last half.
Certainly was. Looking at the best 3 players on the ground, we saw it champion best on ground, Jakovic second best, and Jack Weir third best. So we couldn't find a West Adelaide player in the best there.
No, Grosser was probably their best. Vilke was high, but I think they were the 3 best.
Okay, hope you've enjoyed our coverage of the big game between West and Woodville. Coming up shortly now, Robbo's Well Tonight. Bye, everyone.
This has been another presentation from Nine's Wide World of Sports.